This page is the front cover of Dreamcast Magazine, Volume 5, from 2001. The main highlights are the upcoming Shenmue 2, featuring Ryo Hazuki and Shenhua Ling prominently on the cover, with text promoting Adventures in Hong Kong. It mentions a scoop interview with Yu Suzuki discussing Virtua Fighter 4 and Shenmue 2. Another major feature is Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Quote, highlighting the latest unreleased information. The cover also promotes Dreamcast all-title reader rankings and a special feature on selling games. Other games mentioned include Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs Xeon DX, Gundam Battle Online, Love Hina Smile, Trouble in the Virgin Road, Eve Zero, Phantasy Star Online, Eldorado Gate Volume 3, Fighting Vipers 2, Gigawing 2, Guilty Gear X, and Saskatsuku Special Edition J-League Professional Soccer Club Wotsukuru. It advertises a latest special move encyclopedia and a super convenient special feature. This page is the contents page for the magazine. It highlights the main features, including a special on Dreamcast secret techniques and an interview with Mr. Kawayama discussing Sega and Dreamcast's current situation. There is a special report on Shenmue 2, the second part of a Valentine's Day campaign, and an article from the Doramaga Exploration team about sales promotion. Game features include Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, Keiin Saibo, The Virgin on Megiddo, Love Hina Smile Again, Gundam Battle Online, and Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs Xeon DX. There is also an icon explanation section detailing game features and compatibility. This page showcases a game index and Dreamcast hot information. The left column highlights upcoming and recent Dreamcast releases like the strategy action game 100 Swords, the adventure title EVE Zero Complete Edition Arc of the Matter, the racing game Metropolis Street Racer, Resident Evil Code, Veronica Complete Edition, Fire Pro Wrestling D, Angel Present, Aero Dancing I, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Online Service, and Nepachi the 6th at VPACHIs. The middle section acts as a Dreamcast soft complete guide, focusing on strategy and information for titles such as Phantasy Star Online, Eldorado Gate Volume 3, Fighting Vipers 2, Gigawing 2, and Sega World Soccer Championship 2000. The right column is a game index, alphabetized in Japanese syllabary order, listing various Dreamcast titles and their page numbers. It includes games already mentioned and adds others such as Atsumare, Guru Guru Onsen, Keiin Saibo, The Virgin on Megiddo, Guilty Gear X, Grandia 2, Shenmue 2, and Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? SEGA announced the official suspension of Dreamcast production due to significant financial losses. Key Dreamcast titles like Virtua Fighter 4 and Sakura Wars are moving to PlayStation 2. Sega will continue Dreamcast software development while focusing on becoming a leading content provider. Future strategies include multi-platform software development and a 50% software sales increase. They are exploring network game development and partnering for set-top boxes. Upcoming games include titles for Game Boy Advance, Choo Choo Rocket, Puyo Puyo, Sonic Advance, and PlayStation 2, Virtua Fighter 4, Sakura Wars, Space Channel 5. Sega executives emphasized the shift to multi-platform to reach a wider audience. CSK Group Chairman Isao Okawa donated a large sum to aid Sega's financial restructuring following the Dreamcast's discontinuation. This page presents various news snippets from the game industry. Banpresto announced their new online amusement service called Big Entertainment, which is an online crane game where you can win real prizes that are delivered to your home. There's a preview for Success's new school mystery adventure game called KONOHANA, True Report. It's mentioned as Success's first school-themed mystery adventure game, with character designs by the series designer and scenario writing by SATZ, known for Yarudora series and SO. The game features voices from popular voice actors and is priced at 2,800 yen. In other news, Phantasy Star Online has received the 6th AMD Award for programming for its innovative online communication in a home console game and its automatic translation system supporting 5 languages. This award coincides with the U.S. release of Phantasy Star Online. Finally, a news ranking from GameSpot highlights the top 5 news stories. 1. Sega officially announced the end of Dreamcast production. 2. Square Enix announced 23 new titles under development, including 11 for mobile platforms and new titles in the Final Fantasy series. 3. Microsoft held a seminar for the Xbox. 4. An anime adaptation of Parappa the Rapper is in development, set to start airing in April, with a PS2. Parappa 3 also mentioned as being in development. 5. LG announced a new title for PlayStation 2 called Judgment Ring, which is described as having an interesting new system. This page features several news items and announcements. There is an event announcement for Aero Dancing, is a combat flight simulator game, detailing an online event where players can compete against in-game characters. The event is scheduled from February 23rd to 24th. An information section announces the 5th Japan Game Awards ceremony, inviting 1,000 people via lottery to the event at the International Forum Hall C on March 29th. Attendees will receive free admission tickets to the game show. In the news section, there is a preview for a TV documentary called Super TV News Frontline, airing on February 12th at 9 p.m. JST on Nippon Television. This documentary focuses on the game industry and features game creator Yu Suzuki from UGA, United Game Artists, showcasing the development process of a game over 200 hours. Another news section announces Dream Force 01, a new affordable robot toy from Takara. This robot can be controlled remotely, even from a distance using a mobile phone. It can perform actions like walking and picking up objects, and it features a camera to transmit images back to the controller. It's scheduled for release in the fall with various models at different price points. Finally, at the bottom, there are amusement facility information details for Namja Town, highlighting limited time attractions until March 14th. And an access guide for various amusement parks like Namja Town, Tokyo Joyopolis, Media Age, and Tokyo Joyopolis Seaside, providing addresses, opening hours, and contact numbers. This page is packed with news and promotions. There's a campaign for the iMode site NHK Character running for 3 months, offering prizes. It seems Cardcaptor Sakura is featured. Next, there's a service called Remote Mail being advertised, which allows unlimited text messaging for a monthly fee of 200 yen. And it even includes features like location-based information and picture message functionality. Moving on to giveaways, readers can win Cardcaptor Sakura themed prepaid cards, original book cards from the Electric Shock Game Novel Award Fairs 2001, and plush toys of Black Love's Lycos dog, the mascot of the portal site, Lycos. The magazine recommends events happening this week, from February 9th to 15th. These include Aero Dancing release commemoration events and a national dogfight tournament at various locations, like Best Denki Fukuoka Store and Doki Doki Adventure Island North Shore Store. There's also an event called Mission Strategy Operation. NTT Docomo is hosting a 503i mobile phone experience event. Finally, there's a Happy Valentine's service, where you can send online Valentine's Day cards. In the CD information section, it highlights the 10th anniversary complete best album, Begin Best 19,902,000 by the band Begin, set to be released on February 21st. The album includes hit songs and bonus tracks. The next page is an advertisement for the Sakatsuku Special Edition J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru Complete Guide. This is a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game Sakatsuku J-League Professional Soccer Club Otsukuru. The guide promises a definitive strategy and complete analysis, covering important elements such as management, player development, team strategies, and personnel. It boasts in-depth information, including club management tips, player development techniques, team tactic setups, and personnel management insights. The guide includes extensive data, featuring 4,988 players and 1,008 managers and scouts. The release is scheduled for late March, and it mentions a fan book, provisional, alongside the main guide. This page showcases the Dreamcast Weekly Data Station Top 10 Software Sales Ranking. At number 1 is the new fighting game, Ultimate Fighting Championship, a Capcom title that brings the excitement of the mixed martial arts competition to the Dreamcast. In second place, another new entry, Let's Play Golf 2, a new challenge, published by Softmax, boasts improved communication features for online play. Following closely at number 3 is Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, a new Sega adventure title that reimagines the classic Mega Drive game in 3D. Phantasy Star Online holds steady at 4th place, continuing to be popular with its online quests and downloadable content. At number 5 is Sakatsuku Special Edition, Let's Make a J-League Pro Soccer Club, where you can obtain free tickets for player exchanges and tournament entries. Ranked 6th is I Am Doraemon, a new adventure game from Sega Toys allowing players to step into the role of Doraemon in a 3D adventure. Giga Wing 2 from Capcom takes 7th place, offering intense 4-player shooting action perfect for parties. 8th position is held by Fighting Vipers 2, a Sega fighter that, despite being an older title using Model 3 hardware, still looks great. Guilty Gear X is at number 9, with its deep combo system making it ideal for home practice. Finally, rounding out the top 10 is Eldorado Gate Volume 1, a Capcom RPG that stands out in the Dreamcast's relatively limited RPG library, maintaining its popularity. Dreamcast Magazine readers eagerly awaited these titles. Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning topped the list with 489 points, closely followed by Shenmue 2, 486 points, and Sonic Adventure 2, 329 points. Other highly anticipated games included Crazy Taxi 2, Sega, and Pia EU Koso, 2.5. The top 10 was completed by Super Robot Wars Alpha, New Century Evangelion Arc of the Matter, EVE Zero Arc of the Matter, and Comic Party. Additional notable titles mentioned were The House of the Dead 3, Power Smash 2, and Biohazard Code, Veronica Complete Edition. The magazine's weekly pickup highlighted Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon, focusing on its gameplay and strategic elements. Coming Soon featured Karyu Sabo, the Virgin on Megiddo. This page presents 2 Dreamcast game rankings and a weekly pickup section of upcoming titles. The first ranking is the Reader's Choice Desired Ports Top 20, listing games fans want to see on the Dreamcast. Top titles include Knights, AIR, The King of Fighters 2000, and Shining Force series. Further down the list are games like Grandia, Tokimeki Memorial 2, Garou, Mark of the Wolves, Princess Crown, and Metal Gear Solid. Below this is the Video Game Income Ranking Top 15, which lists popular arcade games by earnings, featuring titles like Derby Owners Club 2000, Virtua Fighter, 3TB, and Guilty Gear X. The weekly pickup section showcases 3 coming soon titles. Giga Wing 2, described as a shooting game on the Naomi arcade board, Street Fighter 03 Upper, noted for its improved C version, and Puzzle Loop 2, a puzzle game emphasizing speed and new elements. Each game has a small screenshot and website link displayed. The page includes text discussing gameplay aspects for some of the weekly pickup games, such as aiming for high scores in Giga Wing 2 and enjoying the speed in Puzzle Loop 2. This document is a release schedule for Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, and Game Boy Advance software and hardware. The Dreamcast section details games released from February 2001 onwards, categorized by release date, manufacturer, price, genre, compatibility, and VGA support. Games are listed monthly, including titles like Street Fighter 03 Upper and Fire Pro Wrestling D. A separate list details Dreamcast titles with undetermined release dates, such as Derby Owners Club Online. Hardware releases for March 2001 include various Dreamcast cables and a Sega Gaga visual memory. PlayStation 2 titles like Virtua Fighter 4 and Space Channel 5 are listed with tentative release dates. Game Boy Advance releases feature Choo Choo Rocket and other titles. Genre abbreviations, ACT, RPG, etc., and compatibility options, analog, VGA, etc., are explained in a legend. This page presents the Dreamcast Readers Ranking, a popularity contest based on votes from Dreamcast Magazine readers. The top 20 games are listed with scores, including popular titles like number 1 Soul Calibur, number 2 Kuon no Kazuna Saikai no Chihei, number 3 Resident Evil Code, Veronica, and number 20 Sonic Adventure. A featured section titled New Arrival Hot Horses spotlights the game Let's Play Golf 2, New Challenge. The review highlights improvements over the previous title, but notes that there's a lot of information displayed on screen, suggesting options to customize the display would be beneficial. New characters are praised, and the opening movie is considered humorous. Reviewers appreciate the advancements in course design and pudding mechanics. Using a VGA box is recommended for optimal visuals. Despite feeling initially like a simple upgrade disc, the reviewer acknowledges significant improvements and finds it to be a worthwhile game, emphasizing the enhanced character personalities and enjoyable minigames like blackjack. Overall, it's praised for being well-made and fun, exceeding the content of the previous installment, with minor issues such as missing voice events pointed out. This article presents Dreamcast game reviews and a reader ranking. The ranking covers games from 21st to 76th, with notable titles like Sonic Adventure and Jet Set Radio. Echo the Dolphin Defender of the Future is praised for its graphics, animation, and atmosphere, drawing comparisons to classic games while highlighting challenging gameplay and requiring player exploration. Ultimate Fighting Championship is lauded for its ground fighting mechanics, realistic UFC depiction, and character customization, despite control simplicity and some manual clarity issues. Boku Doraemon focuses on a familiar gameplay loop, aiming for nostalgia through storytelling and themes of kindness. While it might be repetitive with limited endings, reviewers appreciate its embrace of the Doraemon universe. The Dreamcast Magazine's game rankings, covering titles from 28th to 132nd, showcase the console's diverse library. Jet Set Radio, 28th, is lauded for its fun, addictive gameplay, while Samba de Amigo Ver 2000, 31st, is celebrated for its rhythm-based challenges. Giga Wing 2, 60th, is a top recommendation for score attack enthusiasts. Fighting Vipers 2, 103rd, is considered the best 3D fighting game in its series. Phantasy Star Online, 6th, receives high praise for its offline mode, depth of online gameplay, and focus on exploration and item hunting. The rankings also feature a wide variety of other Dreamcast games, including fighting, simulation, and rhythm titles like Marvel vs. Capcom and Tokyo Bus Guide. The ranking provides a comprehensive view of popular Dreamcast titles. This page highlights the Dreamcast game Project Justice, known in Japan as Moeyo Justice Gakuen, stating it's a must-buy title. The page features a detailed review section titled Burning Justice Academy Dreamcast Software. If you buy this, you won't lose, emphasizing its hot-blooded story and compelling characters. The review praises the game's engaging narrative and deep character development, making it stand out as a fighting game with substantial story elements. Comments from the developers emphasize the game's energetic and exciting school life theme, encouraging players to experience the intensity and energy of student life in the 21st century through the game. Reader comments highlight the ease of controls and special move execution, making it enjoyable from the first play. The page also includes a ranking table listing Dreamcast games from rank 132 to 189, showcasing a range of titles and their scores in the magazine's popularity chart. This page continues a Dreamcast software ranking, covering titles from rank 190 to 277, categorized by review scores. Odds Table E features games like Marionette Handler 2 and Sega Tetris, while Odds Table F represents the lowest scoring titles, sparking questions about the console's longevity. Games in this bottom tier include World Fushigi Haken, Troya and Densha de Go 2. A section previews upcoming titles, noting continued development despite market changes, with games like Natsu Bluetail and Fighting Vipers 2 mentioned. Additionally, a polling section highlights anticipated future releases, including various Grauen no Torikago chapters, and other titles such as Negotiation IVVPCR Roar and Negotiation IVVPCR Monster House, encouraging reader participation in voting for their favorites. This page reviews Dreamcast games and updates software rankings. Reviews include Eldorado Gate Volume 3, RPG, 7.33 score, Sakura Wars, Kinematron Flower Division Mail, Bass Rush Dream Eco Gear Power Worm Championship, Fishing, 6.66 score, and Tokyo Bus Guide, Simulation. Reader comments discuss Dreamcast ownership experiences and game preferences. The page also announces a Dreamcast price drop, upcoming titles, and a reader competition. An odds table ranks and lists Dreamcast peripherals, including release dates, prices, and reviews. Finally, there are sections for prediction games, discussing titles like Macross M3 and 100 Swords, and a prize draw for peripherals. This page is an advertisement announcing that Weekly the PlayStation magazine is evolving into Weekly the PlayStation 2. Starting from the 3/16 issue, released on March 2nd, the magazine promises clearer and easier to understand information about PlayStation 2. It highlights new software and strategy guides, new serial pages, and more powerful PS software content. The advertisement concludes by expressing anticipation from readers. This page features reviews for 2 Dreamcast games. The first review is for 100 Swords, a network-based simulation strategy game where players command up to 100 units in real-time battles. The review highlights the depth of the strategic gameplay and network battles, but points out some visibility issues and camera angle problems. The game received an average score of 8.33 out of 10. The second review is for Aerodancing, a network flight simulation game, an installment in the Aerodancing series. The review praises the emblem creation feature, realism, and the addition of new aircraft and online multiplayer. It notes improvements over previous games, but mentions some problems with missile hit detection. This title received an average score of 8.0 out of 10. The page also includes short commentary sections from different reviewer perspectives, categorized as female users, responsible writers, and guest writers, each offering insights into the games from their individual viewpoints. The page emphasizes the excitement of multiplayer battles for both games, particularly online, and highlights system refinements and the engaging emblem editor in Aerodancing. This page features 3 game reviews. The first game reviewed is Nipachi the Sixth at Vipachi. CR Otakara Kensentai, a pachinko simulation game. The reviewers note that, while it might appeal to female players and be usable for practice, it lacks depth as a strategy tool, and doesn't quite capture the excitement of previous entries in the series. The average review score is 5.66 out of 10. Next is Street Fighter 03 Saikyoryu Dojo for matching service, which is based on Street Fighter Alpha 3. This version is touted for its character customization options, referred to as ISM, and its focus on online play. Reviewers suggest it's worthwhile for players wanting to develop and customize characters and enjoy online battles to see all character stories. The average score is 7.33 out of 10. Lastly, Macross M3, a 3D shooting game, is reviewed. It's considered a must-buy for anime fans, capturing the essence of Macross aerial combat with easy controls and enjoyable gameplay. While the story is appreciated, some reviewers found the level design and enemy placement a bit rough. The average review score is 6.66 out of 10. This page delves into the topic of sales promotion for Sega, investigating what it entails and its impact. It's framed as an investigation into the familiar term of sales promotion and explores its various facets within Sega, particularly for the Dreamcast. The page breaks down sales promotion into different categories. These include the creation of promotional materials like flyers, pre-order bonuses, store displays, posters, and costumes such as a Sonic costume for in-store promotion. It also covers event-related activities, such as game shows like Tokyo Game Show and in-store events. Video-related aspects like promotional videos and demo movies are also mentioned as part of sales promotion efforts. The page highlights Phantasy Star Online posters as an example of promotional material and shows images of various sales promotion items used for Dreamcast games, such as flyers for Romania and pre-order bonuses for PSO. It describes how these activities aim to boost game sales and engage users through different channels like events and in-store displays. The next page continues the exploration of Sega's sales promotion efforts, featuring an interview with Asai Kazuhito and Fukazawa Yoko from the sales promotion team at Sega. They explain that their role is to create materials that capture the attention of both retailers and users. They discuss the process of creating promotional items, starting with posters and flyers and extending to various merchandises. They strive to create different types of posters to suit various store layouts and user preferences. For Phantasy Star Online, they made 4 different poster types and various in-store promotional items. They aim for PSO promotional goods to be sent to stores. They explain the collaborative effort involved in creating promotional materials, gathering input from various departments, and adjusting based on feedback, especially when dealing with character illustrations and design. They also highlight the importance of developer involvement in events and incorporating user feedback into their promotional strategies. They created 6 types of Sakura-themed posters for a spring campaign to decorate stores. They mention a wide variety of PSO promotional merchandise, including posters, flyers, clear files, straps, and more. They emphasize the considerable promotional effort dedicated to PSO during the year-end sales season, and that future promotions might include goods for PS2 titles as well, while encouraging readers to pay attention to the behind-the-scenes work of sales promotion to gain a new perspective on software. The page concludes by teasing the next topic: D-Direct, Sega's online direct sales platform. This page is an advertisement for a St. Valentine's Day present recipient service, the second of 4 consecutive features. It highlights 4 Dreamcast games: the manga comic Tricolor Crisis, Eternal Arcadia, which was released internationally as Skies of Arcadia, Tricolor Crisis, again featuring different cover art, and Mercurius Pretty End of the Century, which is known internationally as Mercurius Pretty End of the Century. This campaign offers a telephone card as a present to all applicants who apply using the enclosed application form before the deadline of March 9th, a Friday. The page also includes application guidelines and important notes regarding the process. This page continues the St. Valentine's Day present campaign, highlighting various Dreamcast games and magazine features. Guilty Gear X is featured as a powerful and intense battle, taken from the cover of a previous issue. Phantasy Star Online, from another cover, is celebrated for showcasing the fun of online gaming at the turn of the century. Shenmue 2 appears multiple times with different character pairings on each card, including Ryo and Shenhua, Ryo and Nozomi, and Joy, although one caption mistakenly mentions Ryo and Joy when the image is clearly Ryo and Shenhua, and another caption references Ryo and Kaoru while the image is Nozomi. Each Shenmue 2 card is also from a previous magazine cover and are highly popular. 100 Swords is depicted with artwork by Yoshio Sugiura, matching the game's world. Macross M3's card features an illustration by Haruhiko Mikimoto from a past cover, a must-see for fans. The page also promotes telephone cards featuring magazine sections like Digilog Channel, asking about character relationships, and Dorimaga Dorichan's game review, with an illustration in progress and teased for the next issue. DC game Tora Noana and Guru Guru Creature are also featured with artwork, alongside sections titled Iro Desugu and Sega Games Are the Best in the World, showcasing various manga art styles and characters in a Valentine's theme. The telephone cards seem to be offered as Valentine's presents related to these games and magazine features. Sega is ending Dreamcast production in March and transitioning to a software developer, aiming to release games on other platforms, particularly PlayStation 2. This follows reports that Sega would release titles on other consoles, confirmed by the company with game announcements like Virtua Fighter 4 and Sakura Wars for the PS2. Several games are confirmed for other platforms, including Choo Choo Rocket, Puyo Puyo, and Sonic the Hedgehog Advance for Game Boy Advance, and Virtua Fighter 4, Let's Make a J-League Soccer Team, Sakura Wars series, and Space Channel 5 series for PlayStation 2. These titles are in development by Sonic Team, AM2 of CRI, Smilebit, Overworks, and United Game Artists, with varying release dates. Developers expressed excitement about the multi-platform strategy and commitment to high-quality games. Screenshots for the Game Boy Advance version of Choo Choo Rocket are also featured. Following Sega's decision to end Dreamcast hardware production and become a software developer, licensees expressed mixed reactions. Many accepted the move as inevitable, focusing on after-sales support, with some expressing bitterness about the abruptness. The commercial viability of future Dreamcast titles was doubted. Existing projects would be released, with some shifted to other platforms. Developers acknowledged the PS2's prominence and the importance of innovative content over hardware specs. Licensees urged Sega to revitalize the game market and value Dreamcast users, while industry figures weighed in. GTI's Watanabe hoped for Dreamcast software development and acknowledges PS2's business reality. Studio Fake's Oka saw it as a sound business decision, but regretted it for Dreamcast fans. EDGE's Ryugaya felt betrayed. Cyberfront's Di Costanzo saw Sega as a rival. Aqua Program's Yoshimatsu urged Sega to embrace the minor road of unique experiences. Sony welcomed Sega's presence on PlayStation, and Nintendo welcomed interesting software regardless of platform. Following the Dreamcast hardware production announcement, Sega's Tetsu Kayama addressed concerns in a Dreamcast Magazine interview. Sega is committed to supporting the Dreamcast and its users, assuring distributors and retailers and confirming the release of planned titles. A price reduction to $99.95 North America and 9,900 yen Japan is planned. Sega will offer after-sales support for 6 years and maintain network services as long as users play online. Regarding Virtua Fighter 4, a Dreamcast port is deemed technically impossible due to Naomi 2 arcade hardware differences and a focus on the PS2 version. The interview emphasized Sega's commitment to software support and a flexible approach, including lower royalty fees and a broader game content consideration. This page discusses Sega's commitment to software for the Dreamcast, stating that software releases will continue as long as there is user demand, highlighting that over 30 new titles are already planned for the year. The page also covers the financial situation at Sega, describing it as the day Sega became one rock. referencing a donation of 8.5 billion yen by Okawa, suggesting a turning point for the company. There's an announcement about a new title in the Sakura Wars series, with mention of developing 2 new Sakura Wars titles outside of the main numbered series for the Dreamcast, and a focus on the Sakura Wars 4 project. The page also indicates that Sega is preparing development environments for other consoles and is cooperating with Sony, SCE, on network aspects, possibly for online gaming. Sega expresses a desire to connect directly with users, mentioning the Dreamaga DC Fund as an initiative to gather user support. Reader comments are included, reflecting various reactions to Sega's decisions, ranging from sadness to continued support. The page concludes with an overall review emphasizing Sega's determination to continue and a message that Sega's DNA will continue to live on. Screenshots feature Sakura Wars characters, likely from the announced new titles. This page focuses on the US version of Shenmue for Dreamcast, which was released in America in November of the previous year and became a hot topic. It highlights that the US version is a faithful localization of the Japanese version, with minor differences in title screen notations. The page discusses how honorifics like san and sensei are used in the English localization, comparing them to Mr. and Ms, and noting it's a normal expression in the US version, even if Japanese speakers might find it slightly odd. Screenshots show scenes from the game, including dialogue between Ryo and Nozomi. There's a section about checking the package and label design of the US version, noting that most elements from GDROM printing onwards are almost identical to the Japanese version. The page also mentions that the US release was a significant news story and a major hit, with users lining up at stores to buy it, marking a rare instance of a large hit outside of sports games. It concludes by emphasizing Yu Suzuki's enduring popularity and highlights a worldwide grand sale. Photos show crowds of fans and Yu Suzuki at a store event, likely related to the US release. The US version of Shenmue, while localized, maintains the game's core. All in-game text is translated, with Yu Suzuki overseeing voice actor casting. Some terms are directly translated, like 3 blades, while others adapt, such as Phoenix Mirror becoming Foen. Place names like Sukagawa are localized to Suka High. Martial arts techniques are translated straightforwardly. The experience remains enjoyable, with familiar elements like capsule toys and arcade games. Overseas Reactions discusses international reception. Character profiles analyze voice acting. Ryo's is typical Western, Hazuki-sensei's is praised, and Landi's, Fukusan's, Nozomi's, Tom's, Gijang's, Mark's, and Xiaohua's voices are described, highlighting how they suit their characters. The US version of Shenmue has sold over 1 million copies, demonstrating its success. This page unveils the latest scoop on Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? Exclusively in this magazine. It features a grand reveal of the package illustration by Kosuke Fujishima, showcasing the Paris Assault Force for the limited edition release. Game details confirm a March 22nd release date, with both limited and standard editions available. The game is a dramatic adventure across 3 discs for a single player, and lists compatibility with VM and vibration packs. The page prominently features the main characters of the Paris Assault Force. The next page continues the Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? Scoop, diving into the secrets of the Paris Assault Force's base, Le Chat Noir. It reveals that beneath the glamorous theater lies a hidden underground strategy command room. The page shows a sketch of the interior of Le Chat Noir's, highlighting its theater-like design with a stage and what seems to be shops and shower rooms. It also mentions a dust chute feature and costume change scenes. The limited edition release is further detailed, showcasing 2 types. Type A, a Le Chat Noir's music box set, and Type B, a visual memory set with wood grain print. Both limited editions, along with the standard edition, are set for release on March 22nd. This page delves deeper into Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? Shining a spotlight on Grandma, the supreme commander of the Paris Assault Force and owner of the Théâtre Chat Noir. Grandma is described as being the linchpin, like a rice paddy in Paris, supporting the Théâtre Chat Noir, its performers, and the flower division. She is portrayed as cool and composed, dedicated to her duties, and deeply loving of the flower division members. The page reiterates the secret command room, hidden beneath the Théâtre Chat Noir, accessible from Grandma's room via a descending chair mechanism. This underground space serves as the Paris Assault Force's strategy headquarters. The article also introduces Grandma's beloved pet cat, Napoleon, a proud black cat often seen on her lap. Finally, It mentions that the opening movie of the game, featuring Grandma, Mel, and Cincy, was already available in promotional media like flower mail and Dreamcast demo discs, but detailed profiles of these characters are revealed for the first time here. The next page introduces two key figures from Soccer Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Grandma's secretaries, Mel and Cece. First up is Mel Lisson, Grandma's capable secretary. She manages the Théâtre Chinois' business and Grandma's schedule, handling everything efficiently. Despite her reserved nature, she's knowledgeable and reliable. Her profile reveals she is 19 years old, born on June 1, 1906, blood type A, 158 centimeters tall, 47 kilograms, and hails from France. It's noted that despite having opposite personalities, she and Cece Caprice get along very well. The page encourages players to check out the opening movie for hidden details and secrets within the game, suggesting the underground hangar and railcar depot might be featured. It also mentions in-game movie cutscenes containing hidden elements, implying that repeated playthroughs might reveal new discoveries related to the Paris Assault Force and the Flower Division's relationship. Moving on to Cece Caprice, she is described as the moodmaker of Chinois and works as a shop clerk. She's portrayed as cheerful, curious, and adept at customer service, even when dealing with outsiders. Despite sometimes seeming flighty, she's fundamentally serious. She has a sweet tooth, always preparing cakes and cookies for tea time, and enjoys making them herself. Her profile states she is 17 years old, born on February 4, 1909, blood type O, 154 centimeters tall, 48 kilograms, and also from France. She enjoys making sweets and shopping, contrasting with Mel's hobby of handicrafts. The Dreamcast Magazine highlights the Théâtre Chinois, the Parisian base of the Paris Floral Revue in Sakura Wars 3. Unlike the Imperial Theater, the Chinois features a unique, rounded design, with expanding interiors and underground facilities. Its dazzling, neon-lit exterior, including a prominent cat sign, symbolizes the Revue's glamour. Inside, the lobby is a day-lit haven that transforms into a social hub at night. Backstage, the area connects the stage and prop room, while the makeup room serves as a relaxing space for Revue members. A bustling bromide shop sells bromide pictures and souvenirs. The Chinois, a popular small theater, opened in 1925, is known for high-level Revue performances and three-star cuisine. Its first-floor seating is packed with Parisians enjoying shows with dining and wine, especially during lunchtime. This page delves into the Théâtre Chinois from Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? It showcases various key locations within the Parisian Revue's headquarters. One section highlights the shower room, confirming its presence in the Chinois, hinting at potential events linked to it. It questions whether fans might see steamy scenes like those from previous games. The operations command center, located deep underground, is detailed, mirroring the layout seen previously. This room, used by the Paris Floral Revue for strategy meetings, features steam-powered computers embedded within the tables, a crucial detail to note. The secretary's room, overseen by Mel, is described as a spacious office with a large, high-quality desk. It's noted for being well-organized, with document shelves, suggesting Mel's diligent nature. The underground hangar, used for sortie preparations, stores the Kubu F and other Kubu mecha, such as the Erica machine and Glycine machine. Staff are shown maintaining the mecha, highlighting the constant readiness for deployment. It questions if there will be events focusing on these staff members. Finally, the Écré rail yard is introduced as the storage and maintenance area for the Paris version bullet train and the Écré rail vehicles. The text mentions these are incredibly fast for underground Paris transport and are considered practical means of transport, though their exact propulsion methods remain unclear. The revolver-like section at the front of the Écré rail seems to be a key element. This page revisits the dust chute system from Sakura Wars 1 and 2, and how it returns in Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? The original dust chute was a simple yet highly advanced system that allowed characters to change clothes instantly and move to the underground command center. This was considered a groundbreaking system. Sakura Wars 2 continued to use this system in the Imperial Theater. Sakura Wars 2's dust chute evolved to be even more elaborate. Improvements were made to enhance the sense of luxury, like a heavier door at the entrance, and a platform for the user to stand on was added, which is considered a significant point. The image sequence shows Erica jumping into the dust chute, grabbing a bar, and being lowered into a pod. Inside the pod, There are grips on the sides, possibly to brace for movement. A thin arm, possibly for protection, locks the pod in place, preparing it for transport. The pod appears surprisingly spacious and tall inside. The hatch opens, revealing Sakura in her combat uniform, appearing in seconds. The process now features a spotlight effect, which is captivating for fans. The article mentions that the changing time might be slightly longer but is still incredibly fast. This page continues the deep dive into the dust chute system in Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Showcasing how Erika changes into her combat uniform. It details the three main components of the combat suit: the inner suit, jacket, and boots. The inner suit is described as a full-body, close-fitting garment designed for efficiency. The jacket is noted for its swallowtail-like back silhouette, longer than previous Imperial Theater designs, and it connects to the inner suit at the shoulders. The boots are knee-high long boots, with details on the sides and instep, emphasizing the roundness of the soles and heels. The page walks through the dressing sequence, showing Erika in the dust chute pod, receiving the inner suit first, then the boots, followed by the jacket. The process concludes with her zipping up the jacket and being fully equipped in her combat uniform, ready for sortie. The emphasis is on the speed and efficiency of the dust chute for combat preparation. This page continues the Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Feature, focusing on Erika's boarding sequence into her Kubu F. It highlights that after the dust chute transformation movie, the next must-see scene is Erika getting into her Kubu. This scene includes new, previously unseen cuts. The page showcases Erika running through the hangar towards her Kubu F, emphasizing the urgency of the situation. There's a humorous moment where Erika, in her eagerness, accidentally runs past her Kubu, showcasing her slightly clumsy but endearing personality. She then corrects herself and boards the Kubu F. The Kubu F is described as the French version of the Kubu, built in Paris based on the Kanzaki Heavy Industries electronic engine. The images detail Erika inserting her arms into the Kubu's arm sections, with tubes connecting for psionic power transfer, just like in the game. The page concludes with Erika successfully boarding and preparing for launch, stating, "Boarding complete," and then, "Kubu F startup," with steam effects shown as the Kubu F powers up and stands ready for action. The final text indicates the Kubu F will be loaded onto the Eclair next. The next page showcases the Shanaworo review scenery from Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Revealing Erika Fontaine's new stage costume for the first time. The headline declares, "Show you! Shanaworo review scenery, and Erika's stage costume revealed for the first time." This article focuses on Erika's cat-themed stage outfit, which is described as a full-body suit with cat ears and fluffy white accents, emphasizing its appeal and cuteness. The text explains that Erika appears on stage in this full-body suit and cat ears style, accompanied by 9 backup dancers. They are performing a fancy dance that highlights the pretty and lovely stage setting, which is captivating and unforgettable. The article emphasizes the performance is a gorgeous stage to be enjoyed. Screenshots depict Erika and the dancers in their cat costumes on a stage with stairs, showcasing various poses and dance moves. Captions highlight the cat cuteness appeal and describe the dance as cat motif dance, with Erika and the other dancers making cat poses and performing a nyan dance. One caption mentions right 1-2, left 1-2, indicating dance steps. The article concludes by describing the finale, where Erika and the dancers face the audience with big smiles, declaring it a powerful smile, and the ultimate finish with a smile. The bottom of the page includes a next issue preview section, teasing features on new free movement systems in Sakura Wars 3, and more new information about the game. This page is dedicated to Shenmue 2, and is titled, Shenmue 2, Aiming for the Top, featuring a direct interview. The article highlights the immense popularity of Shenmue 2, suggesting it might even surpass Sakura Wars 3. It focuses on 3 key female characters, referred to as Madonnas, and introduces their voice actresses as examples of talented professionals. The page showcases images of Ryo Hazuki and Shenhua Ling prominently. It then introduces 2 of the Madonna characters, Joy and Shu Ying Hong, Kunfang Mei. Joy is described as having a striking appearance and attracting attention. Her voice actress is Ryo Natsuki, known for roles in Macross 7, Battle Athlete's Victory, and For All Gundam. Shu Ying Hong is portrayed as a younger sister type from Ryo's perspective, despite her reliable nature. Her voice actress is Ikue Otani, famous for voicing Hana-chan in Ojamaho Doremi Hash, Pikachu in Pokemon, and Yukina Shiratori in Martian successor Nadesico, among many other roles. A game data section provides details such as the game being published by Sega with an undecided release date and price. It's planned for 4 discs, supporting 1 player, with the genre and compatible peripherals also undecided. The developer is listed as free, full interactive eyes entertainment, and the official homepage is mentioned as http://www.shenmue.com/. Yu Suzuki discusses the development of Shenmue 2, emphasizing a creative and full-spec approach. The sequel focuses on player freedom, addressing feedback from the first game. Shenmue 2 allows players to explore side paths and choose their pace, accommodating those who wanted a faster story progression. Players can choose to wait at key points or explore, with the game providing options to progress the story or engage in other activities. The page introduces Hong Shu-ying, a Madonna character described as having a cool beauty, voiced by Yuka Iguchi. Hong Shu-ying, different from other characters, is hinted to have an interesting relationship with Ryo. Shenmue 2 aimed for a user-friendly experience. Easily understood icons, like $ for money and lip for story dialogue, enhance player choice and conversations. The game improved loading times compared to the original, aiming for a seamless experience. Hong Kong provides a vibrant contrast to the first game's setting, with a detailed map system for easy navigation. The game's beautiful natural scenery is emphasized. The wait system allows players more freedom by letting them choose when to wait for story events or continue exploring, addressing feedback from Shenmue. This system gives players control over the game's pacing and offers choices in how they progress. The next page is about Virtua Fighter 4, covering an unveiling event on January 29th, where Sega gathered journalists to showcase the game. The article highlights a 2-minute 50-second demo that impressed attendees with its high-quality CG graphics, featuring characters like Jackie and Sarah in new costumes and stages. The demo was powered by NAOMI 2 hardware and focused on realistic character expressions and movements. The event, held at Sega's AM2 CRI building, was designed around a wineglass theme. Series producer Suzuki Yu states that Virtua Fighter 4 is a true sequel, evolving from previous games and built on the NAOMI 2 platform, promising a visually impressive experience. He mentions the development team includes key staff from AM2 and emphasizes the focus on creating a fun and engaging game. The article also hints at further details to be revealed at the AOU Expo on February 24th, potentially regarding new system information and network capabilities for Virtua Fighter 4, and mentions Kataoka Yuichi from Fighting Vipers as involved with the project. Virtua Fighter 4, built on NAOMI 2 hardware, focuses on gameplay evolution. Simplifying controls includes removing the evade button and refining the defense system with a stance mechanic to encourage skilled play. Down attacks are reworked for more engaging matches. New and returning characters, including Jackie and Sarah, are being added, with a total roster of 12 planned. Stage design incorporates dynamic elements, like collapsing buildings and interactive environments, exemplified by a snow stage with destructible surfaces. Leveraging Shenmue technology, Virtua Fighter 4 will feature cinematic camera work, detailed character expressions, and an overall presentation upgrade, aiming to deliver a culmination of the series' best elements. This page continues the discussion about Virtua Fighter 4, focusing on the game's systems and its move to NAOMI 2 arcade hardware, and, surprisingly, a PS2 port announcement. The game is reverting to a 3-button control scheme, removing the evade button that was present in Virtua Fighter 3, aligning it more with classic fighters like Street Fighter 2, while still allowing for strategic movement with lever controls. The developers emphasize the power of the NAOMI 2 arcade hardware, stating it enables a significant leap in character realism, allowing for more human-like movements and detailed bone structure representation in the character models. Although still in development for arcades first, a PS2 port has already been announced, which was unexpected given the usual timeline for Sega arcade game console releases, but it indicates a desire to maximize the game's reach and take advantage of platform synergy. There's also a mention of a special present for readers, a Pai-chan photo stand. The next page showcases the adventure game, Keion Seibo, The Virgin on Megiddo, for the Dreamcast. A title set in the futuristic experimental city of Izanami in 2031. This city, managed by a single program OS, becomes the stage for bizarre incidents, including spontaneous human combustion. Developed by Hiromi/Studio Line and slated for a June release. This adventure game is still in development at 60% completion. The page features screenshots hinting at visual novel-style gameplay, with character interactions and dialogue boxes. It's a Dorimaga special report, highlighting this upcoming title. This page continues the Dorimaga special report and introduces characters from the adventure game Kain Seibo, The Virgin on Megiddo, which is subtitled The Virgin on Megiddo. It is set in Izanami City. The characters highlighted are Kitagawa Manase, a girl in the school's disciplinary committee, described as soft and gentle, but also capable of decisive action when needed, accumulating evidence and reasoning to reach conclusions. Akimura Mizuki, a classmate of the protagonist, portrayed as bright and cheerful, making friends easily, but also someone who keeps her worries to herself and tries to solve them independently. Karyuin Tomoe, a 15-year-old girl attending Sarin High School. She is from one of the two major influential families in the area, the prestigious Karyuin family, known for their traditional and refined image. She is expected to be independent, especially by her father, rather than just the Karyuin family. Rando Kento, the protagonist, a high school student living in Izanami City with a strong curiosity and inquisitive nature, although this is hidden behind his glasses. He possesses a sharp mind. The story begins when he transfers to Sarin High School. The page includes screenshots of the game interface with dialogue boxes and 3D map navigation. The text also mentions that to solve the closed city's mysteries, players will need to not only gather information from people, but also acquire and use various tools. Love Hina Smile Again, for Dreamcast, is an adventure game featuring short stories centered around the female characters from the Love Hina series. The game showcases 7 stories, with the page focusing on 4 heroines. Naru Sagawa is presented as a spirited older sister figure with a budding romance with Keitaro. Mitsune Kitsune Kono is a mischievous, party-loving character. Motoko Aoyama is a dedicated swordswoman whose seriousness is wavering. Mutsumi Otohime is portrayed as an airhead with a natural, mysterious personality. Each section includes a screenshot and voice actor information. The game will release on March 29th for 6,800 yen and will include premium goods, such as a lunch mat featuring Shinobu in a swimsuit and apron. This page details the enhanced features of the Dreamcast game Love Hina Smile Again. It highlights the game system, which remains similar to the previous title, moving through introduction, communication, command roulette, and result parts. A new feature called Leader Mode is introduced to help players easily locate characters. The game mechanics are evolving from collecting Purikura in the previous title to gathering message cards in this installment. These message cards, found within Hinata Inn, contain secret messages from the female characters. Event CGs, previously Purikura, are now automatically recorded in an album. The page introduces 4 characters. Haruka Urashima, voiced by Megumi Hayashibara, depicted as the landlady of Hinata Inn and aunt of Kanetaro. Midori Fujisawa, voiced by Yuka Inamai, is an original character for the game and described as a former tutor and childhood friend of Keitaro. Kagola Su, voiced by Reiko Takagi, is shown as a genius inventor and energetic girl. Shinobu Miyahara, voiced by Masayo Kurata, is described as a dreaming junior high school student. The story is emphasized as more than just event scenes, promising scenarios even for original characters like Midori Fujisawa, suggesting a deeper narrative experience beyond just collecting event images. This page is a preview for Gundam Battle Online on Dreamcast, revealing details about its solo play mode. This network-compatible real-time simulation Gundam game allows players to command Zeon or Earth Federation forces. The solo play mode progresses through stages, starting with unit formation, then map mode, followed by battle mode, and finally stage clear. It's set during the One-Year War and focuses on commanding troops to defeat the enemy. It appears this title was likely a Japan-only release. Gundam Battle Online on Dreamcast features gameplay across multiple modes. Map mode involves squadron management on a hex-based map, utilizing Minovsky particles to locate enemies. Upon engagement, battle mode activates real-time combat simulations. Players issue commands like target, support, information, shoot/assault, and retreat. The goal is to destroy the enemy flagship. Mobile suits have roles such as fighter, attacker, and defender. Weapon customization is possible in map mode. Various confirmed weapons for the Zaku 2 include machine guns, bazookas, and beam weaponry. The choice of weapon impacts battle strategy. Finally, stage clear evaluates results, potentially unlocking reinforcements. These can be used in network battles, with solo progress affecting the multiplayer experience. This page is a Dreamcast Magazine special report announcing the Dreamcast port of Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon, confirming it's coming to the console soon after the arcade version. The article highlights that this arcade hit is being quickly ported to the Dreamcast, satisfying eager fans. The game is described as a 3D field action game where players control mobile suits, and the screenshots show in-game action, with Gundams and Zaku's battling in a 3D environment, showcasing the intense battles and pilot perspectives. Game data details are listed, indicating Bandai as the publisher, an unconfirmed release date and price, 12 players, and genre as action, team battle action game, with a website URL for Bandai. It also mentions the arcade version, and Naomi I, is scheduled for release in March. The text asks, can you survive the battlefield that intensifies the fierceness, suggesting a challenging and immersive Gundam experience on the Dreamcast. This page continues the feature on Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon, diving deeper into the gameplay. It highlights the 2 vs 2 team battles as a core element, where players must choose to fight for either the Federation or Zeon. A key mechanic is the team gauge system, where each team shares a gauge, and destroying enemy mobile suits depletes it. If the gauge remains after a unit is destroyed, it can respawn. The article explains 2 basic attack types, shooting and melee combat, showcased in action screenshots. It emphasizes that unit strength is crucial, as stronger mobile suits like Gundam deplete the team gauge more significantly when destroyed due to their higher performance, balancing their power with risk. In contrast, Zaku's are presented as cost-effective and versatile, despite slightly lower base performance. The page outlines the battle flow, starting with faction selection, followed by mobile suit choice, then a battle briefing from the operator, and finally, the launch sequence depicted as a real-time movie in the screenshots. This emphasizes the strategic team-oriented gameplay and the importance of choosing the right mobile suit and cooperating with your teammate. This page continues the preview of Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs. Zeon, showcasing the 2 opposing factions, Federation and Zeon, and their mobile suits available in the game. For the Earth Federation forces, the article highlights the RGM-79GM, RX-78 Gundam, RX-75 gun tank, and RX-77 gun cannon. On the Zeon side, they present the MS-05 Zaku I, MS-07B Gauf, MS-06F Zaku II, MS-06S Shars Zaku II, and Mississippi 14S Shars Gelgoog. There's a section aimed at players unfamiliar with First Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, explaining that while many Gundam games exist now, the original First Gundam anime aired about 20 years prior to this magazine. It notes that fans over 25 are likely familiar with First Gundam and its enduring popularity, even though the original anime was initially cut short due to low ratings. The article suggests that this early cancellation might have ironically contributed to its legendary status and paved the way for future Gundam series and movies. The screenshots show in-game action, with a Gundam battling a Zaku, and another image showing the large mobile armor Ashimar attacking GMs, suggesting Jaburo as a possible stage. The text in the screenshots describes the team battle dynamic and the ability to defeat enemies with beam sabers from behind. The Reader's Contribution Corner includes reader responses. One discusses their Dreamcast's evolution and desires for Dream Passport 3 features, and another inquires about buying games, mentioning Space Channel 5. Tommy, the robot character, responds casually. Drill Magazine Die Fever features a Doraemon comic strip, labeling 21st Century Type Dora as a Rudy's version. Weekly Drill Wide Yar presents a weekly calendar, February 9th -15th, with daily events. These likely include game releases, birthdays, and magazine features, mentioning names like Carole King, Mia Farrow, and Hiroko Yakushimaru, and holidays like National Foundation Day and Valentine's Day. Lastly, Drill Hiroba Weekly promotes Drill Magazine News, GameSpot, and Awa CT. This magazine page offers a glimpse into various media. The Drill Magazine Art Club Theater features a manga comic about Valentine's Day and expressing feelings. Game previews include 100 Swords, a romantic game with a male target count linked to swords. Tricolor Crisis, showcasing smooth animation. Sakura Wars, highlighting a close relationship. Shenmue with a Tokyo setting, Sonic Shuffle with a cute pose, and Glycine Bloomer praised for its design. Drill Magazine Recommended Movies presents Cairo, Pulse, a horror film about internet-based disappearances, and Hotel Splendide, a film about a secluded hotel focused on beauty. A movie ranking chart is also included, listing films from Dancer in the Dark to The Tracker. The page showcases various content, including a section dedicated to Phantasy Star Online, likely referred to as PSO, and reader-submitted faces. An award-winning 4-panel manga is highlighted, and illustrations of aircraft, BF-109 Trop and F-4 Trop, are displayed. A screenshot from Gun Spike is also featured. The main focus is the promotion of Harayama Hiroaki's new album, Tomorrow Will Be Sunny, released on February 7th. The album is a full vocal compilation with 10 songs, including theme songs. Harayama, a prominent figure in game music, is expanding into original vocal music, venturing beyond game compositions. The information section details the album's release date, price, and emphasizes its status as his first full vocal album with anime theme songs. Details for Harayama's internet radio programs are also provided, along with a picture of the artist. This page is a mix of Reader's Corner, book recommendations, and a game ranking chart. In the Reader's Corner section, readers are sharing personal stories. One reader mentions playing PC games with a mouse in the right hand and keyboard in the left, noting a past preference for using the number pad with the right hand. Another reader humorously suggests using a controller upside down if someone has trouble with controls. The theme for the next issue is whether it's wrong to lick the lid of ice cream containers. The Book Me section highlights recommended books. In the comic genre, Batman Mad Love is featured, praised as a pure American comic with a cute and mad Harley Quinn. In the essay genre, Motenai Otoko, Unpopular Man, is recommended, noting it's not just about unpopular men, but centers on love and relationships, referencing old literature, and suitable for those feeling cold. The ranking section lists top-selling games from January 16th to 31st, 2001. Kaze no Tairiku Official Complete Works for PlayStation tops the chart. Other games in the top 10 include Mobile Suit Gundam, Federation vs. Xeon DX for PlayStation 2, Sakatsuku Tokudai Gao, J-League Professional Soccer Club, Votsukuru, DC, Sega Professional Soccer League Club Creation for Dreamcast, Toki to Ian Toki Toa, Time and Eternity, Visual Fanbook for PC, and Super Comic Gekijo, Valkyrie Profile 5 Comic, Super Comic Theater, Valkyrie Profile 5 Comic, for comics. This page features reader submissions and articles about Dreamcast-related content. There's an announcement for a cassette wind chime, which is a hot topic, with pre-orders being taken and is described as a rare item for Dreamcast fans. Ordering information and pricing details are provided for this item. In the reader submission section, there's a segment titled Tai Chudu Hatch, which is a corner for readers' questions and stories. The page also features an interview with sound creator Yoshinori Okada, who discusses his work on games like Grandia and Lunar series. He talks about the sound hardware of the Sega Saturn and Dreamcast, praising the Dreamcast for its improved sound quality and ease of use in music creation. He mentions the advancements in sound technology from PCM to CD quality and his preference for the Dreamcast's capabilities. Another section, Iwashita Noriyuki World Music Paradise, profiles composer Noriyuki Iwashita, who also worked on the Grandia and Langrisser series, among others including music for stage shows and Tokyo Disneyland. He shares his perspective on Dreamcast, mentioning its potential for sound and music and the convenience of using CD-ROMs for audio. Finally, there's a call for submissions for a Manga Dojo Challenge contest, inviting readers to participate. This page includes several sections covering various Dreamcast topics. The Unconfirmed Information Bureau section shares rumors and reader submissions, including speculation that childhood trauma is related to Ecol's president, a petition for restarting Dreamcast production, and musings about a potential Dreamcast revival. It lists various 2K1 series games like Giant Graham 2K1, Samba de Amigo Vere 2K1, Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2K1, Virtua Striker 2K1, Winning Post 4 Program 2K1 and Vikiman 2K1, Love 2K1, and Team 2K1. It also mentions that the Dreamcast production halt might have been a rumor. The Dreamcali Free Release Declaration section highlights Phantasy Star Online, showcasing character artwork from the game. The Sonic Speed Declaration section focuses on Sonic Adventure 2, emphasizing new Sonic actions like board action and grinding. It mentions costumes, including Mini Taco, and that all actions are performable with a single button. Another manga-style section depicts character classes from Phantasy Star Online, HU Cast, HUCA Seal, and Humoral. Reader submissions discuss elements of Phantasy Star Online, mentioning Magni equals launcher and EV characters. And another submission references God Hand and Kanna's Chest, possibly alluding to fighting games or action titles. Finally, there is a This Week's CD Release Introduction section, advertising music album Berry Best by Masayuki Iizuka, and maxi singles Take Me In by Bonnie Pink, Tsugi no Hareta Hini by Jelly, Hanamuke no Hanataba by Hanahana, Gakuryu Edge by Chihiro Onitsuka, and Jidai by Rimi Natsukawa, with release dates and track listings provided for each. This page continues the reader opinion section called Drill Hiroba Opinion Box, featuring letters discussing the Dreamcast production halt and media coverage. One reader expresses disappointment at the media's negative portrayal of games and Sega's official announcement, while another talks about the impact of the production halt on dedicated fans who invested in the Dreamcast. The Mascot News section contains short reader submissions, including one from Fukuoka suggesting a Dream peripheral called Super Strike, and another from Okayama mentioning a World's Hardest Punch, and possibly referencing a game character or move. Other submissions touch upon drawing characters and car stickers. Omi in Wonderland appears to be a column by Nanchu Masuzu, discussing topics like the arrival of spring, flower pollen, sneezing incidents, mask usage, and television programs. Finally, Love Dog Diary seems to be a light-hearted diary entry from the perspective of a dog, discussing being spoiled and loved. This page presents more reader contributions within the Drill Hiroba Opinion Box section. The Dream Man Gaze section features short manga submissions by readers, with one about a girl with a love letter and a stalker-like character. The Love Cafe section includes reader letters, one mentioning an illustration of Yukito from Saitama Prefecture being well-liked, and another expressing gratitude to SS Sweetheart Memoranda from Kanagawa Prefecture for fulfilling a request. There's an Unknown Creature comic strip submission, a humorous short story about a monster and a character encountering it. The present point ranking explains how points are awarded for contributions, leading to prizes like original goods or game software, depending on the points accumulated. The Corner Information section lists various content categories within the magazine, including free talk, illustration corners, game strategy discussions, reader opinion boxes, and corners focused on specific game genres or topics. The Postcard Recruitment area details how readers can submit content via postcards, including instructions on what to write and where to send it. Finally, there's a reader illustration and submission from Marokan in Hiroshima Prefecture, featuring a drawing of a girl and address details, likely as part of the submission process. The Hidden Technique Encyclopedia website explores hidden features and cheat codes in Dreamcast games. The page features a contents list, with Part 1 recommending games like Guilty Gear X, Phantasy Star Online, and more. Part 2 delves into Guilty Gear X, detailing how to unlock Testament and Dizzy, Survival, and Special Colors through specific in-game actions or secret commands. It also mentions the challenge of progressing through Survival mode past level 100, encountering tougher opponents. A game option screenshot is included. In essence, the page acts as a guide for unlocking secrets and hidden content in popular Dreamcast titles, with a primary focus on Guilty Gear X. This Hidden Technique Encyclopedia page details several strategies for Phantasy Star Online. A hidden costume is unlocked for Humar characters by naming a second player character KSAKAUDONSU. The guide then covers Photon Blast PB, sharing in online mode. During a PB animation, other players can press Y to transfer PB energy to the user, allowing for strategic teamwork. Party Attack outlines a technique where a player uses a Star Atomizer custom command to hit a teammate with a harmless attack, filling their PB gauge. Finally, Teammate View Play explains how to use a second controller, connected to port B, to view the game from a teammate's perspective, by holding the L trigger on the second controller and using the directional pad on the primary controller, though this only works within the same area and party. This page is dedicated to Power Smash 2, also known as Virtua Tennis 2 internationally, providing hidden character unlock information, hidden outfit unlock conditions, story branch details, and character move lists. To unlock the hidden characters Master and King, you must beat 5 stages in arcade mode. Master will then appear. Defeat Master to unlock him in arcade and exhibition modes. Clear World Circuit mode to unlock King. A table lists hiddenware unlock conditions by completing training modes at specific levels. For example, completing Return Ace training at level 3 within 2 balls unlocks an outfit. The page explains story branching points occur in the story mode at 4 locations. For Taiyo Academy, in the second story, if you lose 1 game to bats, the story branch occurs. Different schools like Gorin, Gaitu, and Serio Girls Academy have different story branch conditions in the second and fourth story. Move lists are provided for several characters, including Tiffany, Powered Akira, Burning Bats, Wild Falcon, Justice, Roy, Watts, Taro, and Demon Thunder, detailing special moves with button combinations. Finally, Password Akira's hidden version is revealed. In the character select screen, hold Weak Punch and Strong Kick while selecting Powered Akira, and keep holding the buttons until the round starts. This unlocks a helmet-shielded costume for Akira. Character abilities remain the same as the regular Powered Akira. This page covers 2 games, Samba de Amigo Vera 2000 and Dead or Alive 2. For Samba de Amigo Vera 2000, it details the conditions to clear stages and unlock songs across arcade, hustle, and love modes. Stage 1 starts with 10 songs and branches depending on the rank achieved. Clearing Stage 2 and Stage 23 unlocks more songs. Special stages also unlock additional songs when cleared with 98% A rank. For Dead or Alive 2, the page explains how to unlock various features. The CG Gallery mode is initially unavailable, but unlocks by accumulating over 200 points from playing various game modes. The Replay VTR mode, returning from the original Dead or Alive, allows you to watch replays after matches by pressing specific buttons. The Aerial Garden stage features day and night variations, selectable at stage select. To unlock the hidden character Byman, you need to fulfill one of several conditions, such as clearing story mode, playing for a total of 30 hours, or using all characters once in UPS mode and clearing 50 UPS play counts. For the hidden boss character Banko Tsubo, unlocking conditions include collecting over 10 stars in survival mode, or using all characters a total of 200 times, and playing UPS mode 200 times. Command lists for Byman and Banko Tsubo are also provided, detailing special moves and button inputs. This page continues the Dead or Alive 2 coverage and showcases tag throw commands and recommended moves for various characters like Kasumi, Elena, Laifeng, Tina, Genfu, Leon, Hayabusa, Ayan, Yan Li, Zack, Bass, and Byman. It looks like move lists and command inputs are being detailed. The page also includes a table outlining the conditions to unlock hidden costumes for all default characters. These conditions are based on both system data, like clearing story mode, and UPS data, such as the number of UPS wins or plays. There is also a supplementary note explaining the costume list, stating that C2 costumes are default, and C3 onwards are unlocked when specific conditions are met, noting that C4 is not available. The text clarifies that N indicates normal difficulty, and that the difficulty setting affects costume unlocks. It also mentions that Manpoke refers to steps counted in UPS data. This page provides tips for Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Daytona USA 2001. For Street Fighter Alpha 3, it explains how to access the EX options menu to adjust game settings. It also details how to unlock and play as the hidden character Guki, Akuma, through 2 methods of button combinations on the character select screen. Guki's special moves are listed with their directional inputs. For Daytona USA 2001, the page explains how to unlock hidden cars, Red Cat, Unicorn, Rule of Nines, and Javelin. It also reveals secrets for Stage 2, including how the tank formations vary based on how quickly the initial tanks are destroyed. Destroying them quickly leads to a medium formation, while taking longer creates a 6-tank formation. Additionally, the page mentions hidden Yakan characters worth high points appearing in Stages 2 and 3. This page reveals secrets for Fighting Vipers 2. You can unlock a special victory pose for Bon with a button combination. Honey has 2 special costumes accessed by viewing all 6 Super KO moves and holding R when selecting her. Achieving a 30-win streak in Versus mode allows you to perform an armor break on Honey, removing her skirt temporarily. Picky can flip Honey's skirt with a board slap after a 10-win streak in Versus mode. Holding up on the D-pad at the start of a round activates a hidden camera angle. Braxel's guitar can be changed to a flying V shape by holding left on the D-pad when selecting him, and reverted by holding right. The page also describes how to unlock a hidden team Infinity in professional baseball team Tsukuru by winning the Japan Series in the 11th year or later. This page is a guide to unlockable content for Dreamcast games, primarily Aerodancing F, Vigilante 8, Second Offense, and a section on cheat codes for NFL 2K. For Aerodancing F, the guide details how to unlock various aircraft, including fighters and experimental planes, by meeting specific mission and stage requirements. It also covers unlocking new game modes, HUD customization options, chase plane changes, and hidden maps. Vigilante 8. Second Offense unlockables include hidden characters like Houston and Convoy, unlocked by perfect quest mode runs. It also covers Bishamon's special moves and the unlock requirements for hidden trucks, like the Dekotora Nippon Maru. The NFL 2K section provides cheat codes for effects like slow motion, increased player weight, and the ability to use the Sega Sports Team. Dreamcast games offer a variety of unlockable content. NBA 2K includes comical effects like 2D players and giant features. F355 Challenge features course passwords and a sunny weather cheat. Elemental Gimmick Gear grants the Eco Spinner for 100 wins and a special stage for completing the game on hard. Ganbare Nippon Olympics 2000 unlocks all characters with a code. Capcom vs SNK Millennium Fight 2000 unlocks character colors, a secret stage, and extra characters by meeting specific arcade mode and character defeat conditions. It also details CPU battle unlock conditions and move lists for characters. Gigawing 2 unlocks the Stranger Aircraft, score attack stages, and minigames. Finally, Carrier unlocks a costume change for Jack, and Cool Borders Burn allows a female DJ voice selection. Dreamcast games feature unlockable content. In Cool Borders Burn, unlock characters, boards, and costumes by meeting specific in-game requirements. Course unlocks depend on ranking and playtime. Eternal Arcadia unlocks extra episodes after multiple playthroughs with specific choices. Cool Tune unlocks characters by winning matches. Crazy Taxi unlocks bicycle mode and secret voices by clearing crazy box modes. A fishing minigame features unlockable lures, including the Sonic Lure and Hot Spring Master Lure. Lake Paradise unlocks stages by winning tournaments. A time bonus in the Palace stage is earned through specific actions. In Godzilla Generations, unlock the first generation Godzilla by clearing the game with specific characters. This page details unlockable content and secret techniques in Dreamcast games. It covers several titles, starting with The King of Fighters, Dream Match 1999, explaining how to access hidden characters and modes using specific button combinations during character selection. It describes modes like Pink Mode, One-Hit Mode, and Hidden Mode, which alter the game's visuals and gameplay. It also reveals Professional Mode unlocks after completing Arcade Mode and Training Mode. The page then moves to Hidden Characters, detailing how to unlock Keith and Byrne in an unspecified fighting game by playing Arcade Mode with a set number of rounds and characters. It lists the special moves and command inputs for hidden versions of Joe Higashi and Andy Bogard from The King of Fighters, as well as move lists for Keith and Byrne and other characters like Moose, Raryu, Wendy, Patty, Gades, and Emilio. Furthermore, the page covers Silent Scope Special Play Mode, which is accessed by holding R trigger during Arcade Mode selection. Finally, it discusses Psychic Force 2012 and how to unlock Emilio's alternate color by playing Training Mode extensively. It also details how to view all monsters in Godzilla Generations by using specific button inputs during monster selection and unlocking further Godzilla monsters by completing game conditions. This Dreamcast Secrets feature unveils hidden content and gameplay tweaks across various titles. In The House of the Dead 2, players can unlock free play, infinite continues, and a super hard mode. Jet Set Radio allows unlocking rival characters like the Rakugaki Kings and Noise Tank by achieving jet ranks in specific stages. Shenmue Chapter 1, Yokosuka reveals a method to encounter Yuan Tail Yuan. Giant Graham 2 offers wrestler color selection, camera view changes, and hidden wrestler unlocks. General Dreamcast secrets include 9 continues and free play via button inputs, and unlocking versus CPU mode. Seaman features evolution paths and unique interactions. Jet Coaster Dream 2 provides unlimited funds, while a baseball game allows stadium appearances and player data viewing through button inputs. This page is a comprehensive guide to special moves and hidden characters for various Dreamcast games. It heavily features character move lists for the fighting game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Heritage for the Future, detailing commands for characters like Dio, Joseph Joestar, Hal Horse and Boingo, Kakyoin, Khan, and Rubber Soul. The page lists various Hisatsu Waza, or special moves, and their corresponding button inputs. Additionally, there are sections dedicated to unlocking hidden elements in New Japan Pro Wrestling 2-Kon Ratsuden 4, including referee and wrestler unlock codes, as well as how to access the Alessi mode in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a survival mode. This page details secret techniques and hidden elements for several Dreamcast games. It explains how to switch the CPU wrestler logic in a wrestling game, likely related to the New Japan Pro Wrestling 2-Kon Ratsuden series, by using the L button and 1P start button. The page also covers a super speed racing mode in a racing game, accessible after clearing championship mode, which allows for 60 FPS gameplay and features special cars like the NSX. It also mentions hidden cars in Super Runabout, listing conditions for unlocking them like clearing missions and achieving certain ranks. For Street Fighter 2-1, Third Strike, the guide explains how to select hidden character colors by holding down attack buttons during character selection. It also details hidden taunt poses and special moves for Gil. There's a section on unlocking extra options in Street Fighter 2 I Double Impact by inputting specific button sequences in the options menu. Additionally, the page mentions a secret command for Gradius 2 and a manual secret operation, allowing players to continue playing during saving, though with a warning about potential data loss. It also notes a hidden viewpoint in a racing game by clearing championship mode and a rare unidentified flying object appearing in the Miami course. This Dreamcast guide unveils secret techniques for various games. In Street Fighter 2-1, Third Strike, it details unlocking Gil. Street Fighter Alpha 3 reveals how to unlock Final Vega. The guide also hints at a wrestling mode, emphasizing strong throws, and a fighting game, CPU Battle Rampage, and General tips include unlocking extra options, minigames, like Fokker's Sky Adventure, and viewpoints by clearing arcade mode. Clearing with specific characters unlocks items, including recovery items. In a fighting game, Kraken, Valgus, and Final Valgus are unlocked by completing arcade mode without continuing. Unlockable content, like a movie theater, is also available. For Soul Calibur, clearing arcade mode with specific characters unlocks new characters, Sophidia, and stages. Purchasing art unlocks third costumes. The guide also suggests the possibility of using unexpected controllers for some games. The next page in this Dreamcast Secrets guide details controller configurations and hidden features, mainly focusing on what seems to be Soul Calibur. It shows button mappings for the Popson controller, standard Dreamcast controller, and even the fishing controller, alongside Dreamcast keyboard controls for gameplay. Specifically for Soul Calibur, the guide reveals how to unlock the powerful Inferno character, use weapon select, enable a random character select cursor, and access the challenging extra survival mode. It also explains how to manipulate fate battles, adjust replay speed, and even change skirt colors for female characters, a fun little detail. Customizing the opening sequence and unlocking demo performances is also covered. You can also unlock new stages and collection data. The guide even mentions how the demo performance backgrounds can change over time. Finally, map screenshots pinpoint hidden mission locations and lists the unlockable stages and demo performances. This guide reveals hidden techniques and unlockables for several Dreamcast games. General tips include using Start plus A/X/Y for alternate character colors. Specific games covered include Dynamite Cop, unlocking extra characters, Dance Dance Revolution Second Mix, unlocking DC edit data, Charge N Blast, unlocking a hidden character, Psychic Force 2, unlocking characters, Kikuo Battle Gaiden, hidden minigames, D2, unlocking characters and viewing an alternate opening, Tinkle Star Sprites, unlocking characters via commands, and Virtual on Oratorio Tangram, True Ending, arcade mode, unlockable characters and additional modes. Sonic Adventure tips include a rocket start technique, the cow puzzle, and cow breeding methods. Fighting Vipers 2's stage select is revealed. Sonic Shuffle's Knight's character unlock is detailed. This guide highlights special techniques and unlockables in various Sega arcade games. In Virtua Fighter 3 TB, players can access developer characters, modify music, utilize dual commands in training, and unlock stages like Snowy Silver Mine Railway. Other features include displaying input commands, using alphabet characters, adjusting comm levels, and employing replay slow motion. Other games feature similar unlockable content. Virtua Cop 2, Derby Owners Club, and Tricolor Crisis offer hidden modes and features through input commands. Nobunaga's Ambition unlocks scenarios, and Chan and Racket to Play has hidden characters. Virtua Striker 2 Ver.2000.1 allows unlocking team uniforms and arcade versions of teams. Ranking mode unlocks specific teams, while stadiums are unlockable by fulfilling specific conditions. Treasure Strike grants access to hidden arms. Hot-Blooded Golf unlocks a character, and Netto de Tennis has a hidden color. Finally, Biohazard Code. Veronica unlocks Battle Mode. This page reveals hidden features and unlockables in several Dreamcast titles. In Resident Evil 2, players can obtain unlimited powerful weapons and costumes, and unlock Wesker in Battle Mode. Resident Evil 3, Nemesis hides Jill's diary, unlocked by collecting all files and replacing one. Super Gusun Oyoyu 2 features unlockable machines, while Bangayo offers hidden characters, Hagure Ningyo, Tora, a flower garden mode, and a secret garden mode. Hanagumi Taisen Columns 2 provides presents, like new modes and characters, and hidden playable characters, including the Imperial Assault Squad, Teito Kagekidan Hanagumi, Fujieda Kaede, and Kaya, usable in a 4-player battle mode. Dreamcast games boast numerous hidden features. Power Stone 2 offers gameplay adjustments and unlocks Pride and a stage by completing the game under specific conditions. Puyo Puyo DA and Puyo Puyo N feature enhanced difficulty modes via button combinations. Blue Stinger unlocks items through gameplay actions. Berserk Millennium Falcon Arc opens prize boxes by clearing different difficulties. Professional Baseball Team, Otsukuru, allows field viewpoints and recruits special players. Popsy Music titles unlock bonus tracks, continuous play modes, and hidden songs based on scores and selections. Pen Tri-Isolon unlocks characters and replay camera controls. Barricade. Puragumu, unlocks hidden characters through specific character selection after clearing the game. Black Matrix AD Advance allows selection of Zero as the main character using a hidden command. The next page is dedicated to hidden features in Dreamcast titles, specifically focusing on the Popped-In Music series. It reveals secret songs and features within Pop-In Music 3 Append Disc and Pop-In Music 4 Append Disc. For unlocking hidden songs like Cute, Sexy Girl, Lounge, New Folk, Akiba, JR&B, Live, J-Garage Pop, Avant-Garde, and Lovely, specific conditions must be met, such as clearing stages with certain scores, playing for extended durations, or completing specific modes like Marathon Mode. There's a section detailing command inputs using both the Popsin controller and standard Dreamcast controller to unlock hidden songs. These commands involve specific sequences of button presses on the menu screen while holding the analog stick. Pop-In Music 3 Append Disc allows players to adjust the falling speed of the Popkin characters and introduces branching paths for hidden songs based on gauge levels. Pop-In Music 4 Append Disc features a special ending achievable by scoring over 90,000 points on average across stages 13 in arcade mode, and introduces a speed adjustment feature accessible from the Mode Select screen to further challenge players. Furthermore, Hypermode songs can be played in other modes like Arcade, Free, and Training, offering expanded playability beyond Hypermode itself. Finally, the hidden song Prit Pop has its own specific unlock command. This page is packed with secret information for Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes. It details several hidden modes and features that can be unlocked using specific button combinations on both the Popscene controller and the Dreamcast controller. These include modes like Horror, various Millennium mixes for the music, a special ending, and Classic 4. The page also explains how to activate Onslaught mode in the arcade version, which makes Onslaught playable as a character once unlocked. There's a table of Onslaught's moves and commands listed. Furthermore, it details how to use hidden characters. It visually shows the character selection screen and highlights how to move the cursor to select hidden characters like Roll, Hyper Armor War Machine, Lilith-style Morrigan, and Shadow Lady, along with their respective move lists and command inputs. The page also outlines the conditions required to make these hidden characters selectable in the game, relating to game progress and character usage. The next page continues the feature on hidden aspects of Dreamcast games, and this time it is focused on Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. It explains that by playing both the Dreamcast and Naomi arcade versions of the game and earning points in the VS Shop, you can unlock hidden characters to use in the game. The majority of the page is dedicated to listing movesets for a wide array of these hidden characters. Characters highlighted with their move lists include Roll, Blackheart, Storm, Magneto, Gambit, Shumagorath, Ken, Zangief, Dhalsim, Guile, Mega Man, Rockman, Spiral, Omega Red, Charlie Nash, BB Hood, Jin Saotome, a faster version of Venom called High Speed Venom, Captain Commando, Juggernaut, Wolverine, and Roll Again, this time likely the version from Mega Man series, not the Marvel vs. Capcom Roll. For each character, the page details the names of their special moves and hyper combos, along with the button commands needed to execute them. This is a great guide for players looking to master these secret characters and their unique fighting styles in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This page uncovers hidden content across various Dreamcast games. It provides character move lists for several fighters like Akuma, Iron Man, and Morrigan. Secrets for Love Hina, including boosting academic stats, are detailed. Revolt's cheat codes, unlocked via player names, grant advantages like infinite items and track unlocks. Ready 2 Rumbleboxing's character unlock instructions are also presented. Furthermore, the page explores hidden events in Rent-A-Hero No. 1, a color change in mode unlock for Mr. Driller, and instructions to unlock Memories Off's O-Make mode. Additionally, there are sections for a BGM test mode, stage rule select, and slow motion mode in unspecified games, and a method to unlock hidden machines in a racing game, Redline Laser. This page features the Neo Black column titled Production End, where Fumio Kurokawa discusses Sega's decision to cease Dreamcast production. The article reflects on the news breaking a week prior to Sega's official announcement on January 31st, detailing the end of Dreamcast hardware manufacturing by March. It notes the shock felt by Sega fans and the surprising rise in Sega's stock value after the announcement. Kurokawa mentions Sega's transition to a software company, highlighting their past consoles like the SG-1000, Mark II-I, Mega Drive, Saturn, and Dreamcast, and the changes Sega has undergone. The article critiques Sega's abandonment of the hardware market, questioning if this decision represents a true reform or a misstep. Below the column, a section titled Game Industry News Headline presents several news items. Konami is reported to be making a large-scale acquisition of a company in the entertainment industry for around 85 billion yen. Disney is withdrawing from its internet business ventures due to poor performance. Mobile internet services Mode and PHS, spearheaded by NTT Docomo, with partners like NEC and Sony, are expanding into overseas markets in Europe and Asia. There are rumors suggesting that Square is considering changing its company name to Square Enix, hinting at a potential merger with Enix. Lastly, an unspecified game title is beginning its expansion into Asian markets, specifically Korea and Taiwan, aiming for significant sales figures, with arcade games being mentioned in the context of a 6 billion yen sales target in Japan. This page shines a spotlight on the new anime series, Argento Soma, highlighting its debut on TV and upcoming home video release. It's described as a science fiction anime from the same team behind Infinite Receivus, a previous Sunrise production, promising more than just simple sci-fi action. The story is set in 2054, after the arrival of aliens, and focuses on a monster named Frank, a girl named Hati who can communicate with it, and a young man named Tact, who bears scars both mentally and physically. The anime explores themes of revenge, atonement, rebirth, and love. Character introductions are given for Ryu Soma, a member of the Alien Extermination Unit Funeral, Tact Kanashiro, a metal engineering student involved in an incident, Dan Simmons, another funeral member and Ryu's rival, and Maki Agata, a biology student and Tact's girlfriend, also connected to the incident. The first volume of Argento Soma, containing episodes 1 and 2, is slated for release on both video and DVD-VIDEO on February 21st. Volume 2 and 3 are also announced for March and April respectively. The page also includes official website links for more information. In a separate topic, it announces the DVD revival of the legendary anime movie Vampire Hunter D, based on Hideyuki Kikuchi's novel. His classic anime from 1985, directed by Toyo Ishida, with character designs by Yoshitaka Amano, is also scheduled to be re-released on DVD via IDEO on February 21st. This page announces a variety of anime releases and broadcasts, starting with Sakura Wars TV Volume 6, set for release on February 25th on both video and DVD via IDEO. Following this is Getter Robo vs. Neo Getter Robo OVA 2, also releasing on February 25th on video and DVD via IDEO. The page highlights the TV anime series Those Who Hunt Elves, airing weekly on Saturday at 9 p.m. on Animax, ATX, Sky Perfect TV, and Cable TV. Rental releases are featured for several anime series beginning February 9th, including Kachimeshi Densetsu Tetsuya Volume 1, Urayasu Tekken Kazoku Volume 1, Digimon Adventure 02 Volume 5, and Kindaichi Case Files Volume 39, The Lake of Siren Murders. Further release announcements for February 21st include Dirty Pair Flash First Stage OVA, and for February 23rd, Arion Movie Deluxe Version, both available for rental. Also releasing on February 21st is New Century GPX Cyber Formula Sin OVA, Volume 3 less than Final Volume greater than. Lastly, Space Warrior Baldios Movie DVD BOX2 is announced for release on February 23rd. The page concludes by mentioning the broadcast of Sailor Moon starting February 14th on Kid Station, airing every Wednesday at 7 p.m., showcasing the first series encompassing 46 episodes and highlighting it as a major hit anime series from the 90s. This page is a manga strip titled Samsung Yoshimatsu Theater 8.5 billion yen pocket money edition. It's a comedic look at the massive budgets in game development, focusing on an example figure of 8.5 billion yen. The strip features cartoonish characters who seem to represent game consoles or figures within the industry, discussing topics like game budgets, development costs, and sales expectations. There's a mention of aiming to sell 300,000 software units, and a reference to Sega. The strip humorously portrays the pressures and financial realities of creating large-scale games. At the bottom, there's a note about Samsung Yoshimatsu and a comment from Samsung Sensei regarding the cancellation of Dreamcast production, linking it to a Dreamaga Valentine special project. This page is a continuation of the manga and focuses on the news that Sega is ceasing Dreamcast hardware production. The characters are shown watching TV and reacting with surprise to the stock market news, which triggers the bigger news about Sega. One character receives a New Year's card from a game producer lamenting poor Dreamcast software sales and asking for help. The manga characters then discuss the news, expressing disbelief and reflecting on Sega's efforts, even questioning if Dreamcast is selling well in America. They consider buying another Dreamcast before they become unavailable, and note that their current Dreamcast is already having issues. There's a mention of considering PlayStation peripherals, but ultimately, the characters agree Sega should focus on software and express hope for a future console, ideally one that's light, sleek, and powerful. The manga also mentions Dreamcast Magazine itself, referencing the magazine On FM, possibly for its 16th issue, and games Guru Guru Manbu and Yokotani Set. They also joke about Digilog and Oboatero, and discuss if the magazine will have a 5th consecutive DVD issue. Finally, at the bottom, there is a brief advert for Microsoft's Xbox, and a mention of a very expensive Giant Space Insect Manga Complete Works DVD ROM, priced at 126,000 yen. The next page features an interview with musician Rolly, described as a rock spirit messenger who sings the theme song Samurai for the anime drama Chikyu Kazoku, Earth Defender Family. Rolly discusses his musical style, which blends hard rock with pop sounds, creating a hyperpop sound. He mentions that the theme song Samurai is intended to be cool and powerful. He expresses his musical influences as including artists like Vincent Gallo and Tim Burton, and the film Mars Attacks. He also mentions a desire to expand his creative endeavors into areas such as movies, theme parks, and picture books, while maintaining his unique artistic vision. His profile states he was born in Kyoto on September 6th, and that Samurai was released on January 24th as the opening theme for Chikyu Kazoku, broadcast on WWW on Tuesdays. It also mentions his serializations in Sky Perfect TV Guide and Audition, and notes he is a Dreamcast user whose favorite game is Seaman. This page showcases an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Mercurius Pretty End of the Century, a fantasy simulation game focused on the alchemical education of a spirit, where you decide how to raise her. The advert poses questions about the full extent of Virtua Crystal and the difficulty of conversations within the game. It promotes an official strategy guide, stating, "Everything you need to know is in this one book," aimed at players who enjoy games. The guide is advertised as containing all necessary information to understand the game's progression, how to raise your homunculus, parameter details, event information and data, ensuring players have everything they need. Screenshots from the game are displayed, and the guidebook itself is advertised as being already on sale and is published by SoftBank Publishing. This magazine questionnaire surveys readers about their gaming habits and preferences. It gathers personal information like age and gender, and asks about reading habits, including specific gaming magazines. Readers are prompted to list up to 8 Dreamcast peripherals and up to 10 Dreamcast games they own or plan to buy from a comprehensive game list. The questionnaire also asks about favorite manga characters from Guru Guru Creature, and encourages readers to rate articles in the current issue, choosing up to 3 interesting and 3 not interesting articles from a provided list. The survey concludes by seeking opinions on the current issue's cover. This page is an advertisement for SoftBank's game strategy guides, promoting Weekly the PlayStation Magazine. It highlights features on Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and PS2 strategy guides focused on martial arts games. The page also lists a range of strategy guidebooks that are currently on sale and upcoming releases in mid and late February. Titles for Dreamcast include guides for Phantasy Star Online, Sakatsuku Special Big Edition J-League Club Professional Manager, Project Justice, Guilty Gear X, 100 Swords, and Arrow Dancing Eye. Also listed are multi-platform guides like UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, for both PlayStation and Dreamcast. This page is an advertisement for strategy guides published by SoftBank. It promotes strategy guides for 2 Dreamcast games, Project Justice, referred to as Moero Justice Gakuen Perfect Guide, and Guilty Gear X, which is advertised as the official guide subtitled By Your Side, G-Gear, and promises to thoroughly explore the essence of the game, covering character basics, advanced techniques, and secret elements. Both guides are scheduled for release in mid-February. This page lists the contents for the magazine, showcasing upcoming Dreamcast titles and in-depth strategy guides. The left side details DC New Works' latest news, featuring games like 100 Swords, EVE Zero Complete Version, Metropolis Street Racer, Resident Evil Code, Veronica Complete Version, Fighter Wrestle Ring D, Angel Present, Arrow Dancing Eye, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Saikyoryu Dojo for Matching Service, and Nepachi VI at V-Pachi CR Treasure Hunt Team. The right side highlights Dreamcast Thorough Strategies, covering titles such as Phantasy Star Online, Eldorado Gate Volume 3, Fighting Vipers 2, Giga Wing 2, and J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru. This page is a feature focusing on the network battle mode of 100 Swords. It explains how to connect online to enjoy battles, highlighting that server usage is completely free. The article mentions the @Barai version of the game, released on February 8th, which allows network battles but initially with only 2 maps available. Players can unlock all modes and maps by using a key, making it identical to the retail version. The page emphasizes the excitement of player versus player battles in the network mode, calling it super hot. It also details the steps for network connection, suggesting players need to set up their provider. The Dream Passport 3 is mentioned as being usable, and user registration with ISAO is unnecessary. The game itself is an SLG, a network battle simulation, and it is noted that the network battles are being actively played and reported on. The bottom of the page provides game information, including the retail version price of 5,800 yen and the @Barai version price of 980 yen, with a key unlock price of 2,980 yen. The developer message encourages players to connect online and enjoy the real-time strategy battles. This page details how to engage in network battles in 100 Swords, reminding players that server access is completely free. It outlines the 5 steps to get online: connecting to the internet, selecting a battle server, entering the chat room, starting a game, and viewing the result report. The game allows you to freely choose from 4 different countries, each with unique characteristics that influence your battle strategy. Victory depends on understanding these factional strengths. You can even have matches where all players are from the same country. To get started, after connecting to the network, you'll select a battle server, and then move to the chat room to find opponents and create games. The chat room facilitates player matching, making it easy to find friends to play with. Once in a game room, you'll proceed to the game preparation screen, where you can choose from 5 pre-made maps, totaling over 25 variations. The game settings, including player alliances, are highly customizable, offering numerous gameplay possibilities.
You can adjust difficulty and map size for varied experiences. Battles are won by eliminating the enemy's main camp or fulfilling other victory conditions. If a clear winner isn't obvious, rankings from A to D are assigned based on damage and resources acquired. Players earn shells based on their performance, and individual battle records are saved on the server, influencing your overall ranking. The page also highlights characters like Masker, Gran, Ruplastrier, and Nalval, who appear in the game.
This page is a report on a 100 Swords Network Battle Tournament hosted by Sega prior to the game's release on January 24th. Several game magazines participated, and it seems Dreamcast Magazine didn't win, but learned some network battle strategies. The page details the tournament results, with Dreamcast Magazine placing second overall, Famitsu DC first, Dengeki DC third, and Play Online also third. Tournament regulations specified using default settings within the viewport for unit, building, and resource display. The maps used were Rampage Great Split, Mascariote Forest, and King's Rock Ridge.
The article then analyzes countries, factions, advantageous in network battles. Masker is highlighted as strong in stable combat situations, while Nalval with its archers is good for early pushes and resource acquisition. Gran, with its seed user unit, is good at resource management and defensive play. Ruplastrier, with its flying units, excels on mountainous maps. Davidov, a Masker unit, is featured as exceptionally powerful, capable of destroying enemy camps. A gameplay tip emphasizes taking the initiative in battle, using Masker's quick attacks to overwhelm Ruplastrier. Finally, the page mentions the in-game chat feature, which uses hiragana characters for easier text input with controllers, and suggests using punctuation and spaces for smoother conversations.
This page continues with strategies for 100 Swords. One section highlights how the Ruplastrier faction can overcome fortresses without siege equipment, noting their Zarn unit can climb walls, allowing them to bypass defenses. Another strategy discusses utilizing flying fortresses, which are slow to build but effective for surprise attacks, and dropping golems on enemies. A third strategy talks about supporting defeated allies by sending resources, suggesting a tactic of indirect support by sending resources to allies near the front lines. There's also a section emphasizing the excitement of network battles in 100 Swords, highlighting the unpredictability and strategic depth compared to CPU battles, and how the sense of accomplishment is greater when outsmarting human opponents. Finally, the page introduces the second part of the 100 Swords image comic series, drawn by Yoshiro Sugimura, who is credited as the character designer. The comic tells a story about a boy in a vast world who is given a mission by a young queen to travel east. The initial panels depict a castle exterior and interior scenes with characters, setting the scene for the narrative. This page focuses on Eve Zero, an adventure game, and discusses elements of its story and gameplay. The headline poses the question, Stolen Boy Year Incident and Relationship? And Example of Employee Murder Incident and Relationship? Suggesting a crime mystery theme. The article mentions a middle school girl kidnapping incident and a 26-year-old deviant man as part of the narrative. The page promotes pre-orders via Game Village for a release on March 22nd, priced at 7,800 yen. It highlights the availability of downloadable VM minigames from the official website. Character profiles are presented for Maria and Toa, showcasing a scenario described as a bath meeting and gobble with mouth. A screenshot depicts Maria and Toa in a bath, suggesting this bath meeting is a featured scene in the game. The next page continues focusing on Eve Zero. The headline, Crisis Strikes, further targeted Toa, details a perilous situation where Toa becomes the target of danger. It mentions an incident at school involving a murder at Central Avenue affecting a third-year male student. Pickup Movie Number 2 highlights a scene where, after dropping Toa home, suspicious men in suits approach her. Maria intervenes to rescue Toa, but the men pursue them, raising questions about why Toa is being targeted. The game features a target capture command, indicating gameplay mechanics. Another section titled Maria as SP, Ruth and Related Questions, delves into the characters Maria and Ruth. Ruth Bratchford is introduced, possibly in relation to Maria's role as security police. The text hints at intrigue and questions surrounding these characters and their roles. Finally, a topic section discusses rumors of VM minigames for the complete version of EV0. It reveals that new VM minigames are included, with the game name being Beam Force E. This suggests additional content within the game beyond the main adventure. This page highlights Metropolis Street Racer, or MSR, a highly anticipated Dreamcast original racing game that unfortunately faced delays in its release at the time. The game is praised for its realistic recreation of Tokyo's cityscapes, emphasizing the feeling of driving through actual urban environments. The feature focuses on two key Tokyo locations, Shibuya and Shinjuku, showcasing how these areas are meticulously rendered within the game. It points out that while other games feature city courses, MSR uniquely stands out by changing the game time to reflect the real time of day you play, meaning if you play at night, the in-game time will also be night. The Shibuya section emphasizes the area around Shibuya Station, including the iconic scramble crossing and famous spots like QFRONT, all faithfully reproduced. The text mentions familiar stores like Sankoshoji Pharmacy and Starbucks Coffee, making appearances, adding to the realism. Shinjuku is also featured, with its towering skyscrapers and distinct atmospheres in both the west and east areas of the district being highlighted. The article points out landmarks like the Subaru building and department stores such as Odakyu Department Store, all recreated in detail within the game. The screenshots showcase both daytime and nighttime driving in these areas, demonstrating the visual changes based on the time of day. Metropolis Street Racer, MSR, prioritizes realism, starting with the appeal of open-top cars and their expansive views across diverse environments and changing seasons. The game faithfully recreates Tokyo districts, including Asakusa, showcasing iconic landmarks and capturing the traditional downtown atmosphere, following the previously featured Shibuya and Shinjuku. The Making Science section details the game's development process. Realistic cityscapes are built using wireframe models and polygon technology, exemplified by Shibuya Station's east exit. Car modeling incorporates real-world data for precise exterior, chassis, tire size, and other specifications. The game's commitment to detail extends to gear ratios, mirroring real car data to ensure an authentic driving experience and accurately represent each vehicle's unique characteristics. This page highlights Biohazard Code, Veronica, emphasizing the series' core combat mechanic of GAP, the delicate balance between fear and exhilaration arising from limited resources and enemy encounters. It introduces Chris Redfield, a STARS member known for his sharpshooting skills in previous titles, as a playable character. The article details the knife as the starting weapon, underscoring the game's focus on strategic combat and item management over brute force. Screenshots showcase gameplay environments and combat encounters. The release date is noted as March 22nd, with a price of 5,800 yen. Player comments express excitement for the complete version and the return of classic gameplay. This weapon guide for Biohazard Code. Veronica explores the game's arsenal and combat. Understanding reload times and dual wielding is crucial. Key weapons include 2 handgun variations, with Claire's 93R offering 3-round bursts. The submachine gun provides rapid fire for crowd control, though it consumes ammo quickly. The shotgun is powerful at close range. The grenade launcher offers 4 grenade types, each with elemental effects, but suffers from slow reloads. The assault rifle is effective against hordes. The rocket launcher, exclusive to the Dreamcast version's special mode, is overwhelmingly powerful, instantly destroying most enemies, except for quick smaller creatures like zombie dogs. The next page showcases Fire Pro Wrestling D, emphasizing its incredibly deep wrestler edit mode, stating you can play it for a lifetime. It boasts over 1,400 recorded moves for creating your ideal wrestler. This game is described as a must-have for wrestling fans, even for those who usually just watch main events. The page highlights the wrestler edit mode, promising limitless enjoyment and the ability to create new wrestlers based on real-life wrestlers or completely original creations. It mentions the group edit feature, adding another layer of customization. The article, Research by Watching Pro Wrestling DVD Videos, discusses how the development team researched pro wrestling DVDs to make realistic wrestlers in the game. They used this research to create wrestlers, even down to details like Tiger Mask. Another section emphasizes that completely original wrestlers can also be created, highlighting the freedom to build wrestlers from scratch, not just mimicking real ones. Finally, the Era of Wrestler Edit section talks about the long-lasting appeal of the edit mode, suggesting players can lose themselves for hours creating and battling wrestlers, even against the CPU. The game received a 95% rating in the magazine.
This page continues to detail the Deep Wrestler Edit mode in Fire Pro Wrestling D, highlighting its extensive customization options. It emphasizes that each wrestler can have up to 78 skills. The page is divided into sections explaining different aspects of the edit mode, including construction chapter, which likely refers to building your wrestler's moveset and attributes. It shows screenshots of the game interface for editing wrestlers, displaying various skill categories and percentage values that seem to relate to the probability of using certain moves. There's a section about refinement chapter, which seems to be about fine-tuning the wrestler's AI or logic, allowing players to adjust how the CPU wrestler behaves in matches. It shows further interface screenshots with percentages associated with different in-ring situations like grappling, backing away, rope running, and cornering, suggesting deep control over AI behavior. Another section mentions network features, indicating you can download new move motions if you vote for them on a dedicated website. It details a user voting system where popular requested moves can be created and downloaded for use in the game. The page concludes by encouraging players to register their best created wrestlers on a dedicated website, suggesting online community and sharing features. It also mentions edit wrestler tournaments, implying online competitions with created wrestlers. The bottom right shows a mock-up of a web page related to Fire Pro Wrestling D and downloadable content. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast adventure game, Angel Present. It tells the story of Sekikawa Yu, an aspiring picture book author who notices a strange world in Azami Village. This world is described as the layer world, which represents the form of a girl's heart. The game focuses on exploring this layer world, picking up on themes of girls' hearts and drawing picture books. The gameplay progresses in real time through a daily cycle. Each day is divided into morning, noon, evening, and night. The player alternates between the real world and the layer world, and fulfilling certain conditions in the real world is necessary to advance in the layer world. It seems the goal is to experience the layer world, which is described as an adventure, and then return to the real world to draw picture books based on these experiences. The page details a gameplay flowchart, which shows a daily loop of interacting in the real world and then exploring the layer world, with events and conversations taking place in both. It mentions that time stops in the layer world until you return to the real world. Angel Present for the Dreamcast is an adventure game where protagonist Sekikawa Yu investigates Azami Village and its 5 girls, the catalyst for a story involving a dream world or layer world linked to the girls' emotions. Players navigate this dangerous layer world, battling monsters and solving puzzles, while communicating with the girls. This contrasts with the real-world setting of Azami Village, where Yoon interacts with lively villagers, gathering information and context. The gameplay loop involves moving between the layer world and the real world. Events in one impact the other. Yu aims to understand the girls, help them, and create picture books based on his experiences. This page is all about arrow dancing for the Dreamcast, showcasing the game's emblem editor. It highlights how players can create custom emblems for their aircraft, using a suite of tools similar to graphic editors, including pen lines, boxes, circles, paint, zoom, select, copy, cut, and paste functionalities. The article mentions that even beginners can easily use this editor, and sample emblems are provided for those less artistically inclined. The Fighter Select screen is also shown, featuring aircraft like the F-16, F/A-18, AV-8 Harrier II, A-7, and A-10, with a focus on the AV-8B Harrier II as a key aircraft in the game, emphasizing its unique vertical takeoff and landing capabilities. It also mentions that the game is a network flight simulation, allowing up to 4 players to compete online without any communication fees, and is due for release in 1 week. This page continues the Aero Dancing Eye coverage, now focusing on the special maneuvers of the AV-8B Harrier II aircraft. It details 3 key operational modes: VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing; STOL, short takeoff and landing; and VIFF, vector and forward flight, explaining how to execute each using button inputs and in-game mechanics, like nozzle control and engine output.
The page also touches on creating your own custom aircraft designs and the network battle feature. Finally, it introduces the Mirage 2000 as France's pride, highlighting it as another flyable aircraft in the game and providing some of its specifications like dimensions, speed, and range. This page continues the Aero Dancing Eye coverage, showcasing more aircraft and maps. It details several playable aircraft with specifications and available weapon loadouts, including the Kawasaki C-1 transport plane, which has no weapons, and attack aircraft like the A-10A Thunderbolt II, A-7E Corsair II, Tornado ADV/IDS, and F-15E Strike Eagle. The page also discusses which aircraft are considered strongest in online network battles, suggesting the MiG-29 and highlighting the Su-27, Mirage 2000, and F-16 as strong contenders. Moving on to maps and environments, it introduces locations like W Coast, Hills, Desert, LHD, Helicopter Carrier, and Oil Plant, each with selectable weather conditions such as day, evening, and night. Finally, it lists maps returning from previous games, such as Base I, Base N, Base S, Base M, Base C, BAY, and SCA, detailing the available weather options for each map, like morning, noon, evening, night, rain, and snow. The next page delves deeper into Aero Dancing Eye, highlighting various playable aircraft and their in-game specifications and weaponry. Featured aircraft range from trainers like the T-2 and T-4 series used by the Air Self-Defense Force, to frontline fighters such as the MiG-29 Fulcrum, Su-27 Flanker, MiG-21 Bis Fishbed, and various F-Series aircraft including the F-1, F-2AB, F-86, F/F-86AF, F/A-18C, F/A-18AG, F-16A, F-16AG, F-104J, F-4J, F-4EJ/F-4EJ Chi, F-15J/F-15DJ/F-15A, and F-14A/F-14 terabytes. Each entry details the aircraft's role, weaponry, and any special features within the game. A section titled Validation 2, Cobra is Possible? Discusses the Cobra maneuver, concluding it's difficult in-game due to the lack of G-force limit release in the fly-by-wire controls, but humorously suggests dedicated players might find a way. There's also a News section announcing a Squadron Leader Contest 2001 network event for Aero Dancing Is, scheduled for February 23, 2001 from 8 p.m., encouraging players to become squadron leaders in 4-player battles to determine the strongest pilot. The detailed rules and further information are available at the provided website address. Finally, a column section offers a brief history of fighter planes, starting from the Wright brothers' first flight and the early use of aircraft in World War I, through to the jet age and the impact of the Cold War on fighter development, ultimately connecting this history to the experience of playing Aero Dancing In and enjoying the artistry of flight in the game. This page introduces the ISM PLUS feature in Street Fighter Alpha 3, explaining how to use them to customize your characters in World Tour mode and ISM Edit mode. ISM PLUS are described as abilities players can acquire and equip to enhance their characters, and there are 26 different types available in total. The page lists various ISM PLS options with their point costs and effects. Examples include Zero Combo, Zero Cancel, Super Guard, Auto Guard, Original Combo, Air Guard, Damage Plus, Guts, Guard Destroy, and many more. These ISM PLUS modify gameplay aspects like combo potential, guarding abilities, damage output, and gauge management. It is noted that up to 6 ISM PLUSs can be equipped at once. The article also offers some ISM PLS recommendations, suggesting that Infinity Guard is a strong choice, while questioning the usefulness of Hard Body. It also highlights that players should experiment in ISM Edit mode to understand the effects and decide which ISM PLSs to equip. Finally, the page includes release information for the Dreamcast version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, noting it will be released on February 15th and will cost 3,800 yen. It also mentions the arcade version is based on NAOMI hardware. This page is dedicated to the Dreamcast pachinko game, Nepachi VI. It thoroughly investigates the prediction and reach elements of the game, highlighting features that can also be used in pachinko halls. The page details the flow to a big win, starting with digital rotation and progressing through various reach sequences. These include normal reach, long reach, underground kingdom reach, plasma reach, Hikaru reach, treasure box reach, all real spin reach, gold rush, Vita Stop, and Hikaru Change Reach. Each reach type is briefly explained with screenshots and confidence levels.
The bottom section reveals the luxurious prizes players can win by achieving consecutive wins. For 7 consecutive wins, prizes include digital cameras, brand-name perfumes, and gourmet food. For 9 consecutive wins, you could get items like Glastron displays, memory stick Walkmans, and mobile terminals. Achieving a fantastic 10 consecutive wins could reward you with travel and portable DVD players, showcasing the high-value rewards available in Nepachi VI. This page is a strategy guide for Phantasy Star Online. It focuses on exploring the ruins area in the game, which is described as the final stage of the Ragol exploration quest. The guide highlights several key aspects of the ruins, including traps like fishing traps, poison gas, and powerful lightning strikes. It advises players to be aware of these environmental hazards. A section titled, Check, points out a hidden room located behind a waterfall within the ruins area, encouraging players to explore thoroughly. The guide also provides strategies for dealing with enemies appearing in the ruins, specifically mentioning Dimian and Dark Belsera. It recommends using anti-dark weapons against these enemies, and using techniques effectively. For Dimian, fire and lightning techniques are suggested, while for Dark Belkara, a strategy of attacking from the sides or rear, while being mindful of its paralysis attacks, is advised. The page emphasizes the importance of preparing anti-dark weapons before venturing into the ruins, suggesting that weapons like Gabarda and Rabarda are effective. This guide offers strategies for defeating various enemies in the ruins area of Phantasy Star Online. Key enemies include Craw, Bulk Craw, use ranged attacks. Dark Gunners, attack the red sphere. Duragan, attack from behind. Chaos Sorcerer, destroy technique stones. And Chaos Bringer, evade charge and attack its back. The guide emphasizes using ranged weapons where appropriate, and avoiding close-range attacks on certain foes. Difficulty increases on hard modes, with increased enemy stats and speed, requiring more precise attacks and caution. This page from Dreamcast Magazine is dedicated to Phantasy Star Online, announcing February as Mag Enhancement Month. The page shares a tip about mag colors, explaining that a mag's color will match the color of the clothing equipped by the character when it is first equipped. It also reveals new costumes for human and ranger characters in Phantasy Star Online, listing the codenames for these as SOUDEG, MKSG, MEIU, GHSYN, and NUDNAFJOOH. A section titled PSO Dream Magazine Exploration Squad CAS, Recovering from Item Lost, features a team member called CAS, who shares their experience of recovering from an item loss situation in the game and thanks the readers for their support. Another section, PSO Dream Magazine Exploration Squad Troubleshoot Hunter's Worries, is a call for players to send in their questions and concerns about Phantasy Star Online to the Dreamcast Magazine Exploration Team for troubleshooting. It provides an email address and postal address for submissions and clarifies that questions should be in Japanese if possible. Finally, this week's Mail Gallery Pioneer Bio Pioneer showcases a fan illustration of a Lappy, describing it as a slightly cruel but funny artwork, and illustration submissions are okay too. It encourages readers to send in their Phantasy Star Online related illustrations for the magazine. This page continues with coverage of Phantasy Star Online and presents a section called B. Taro's 2001 Ragol Journey. It seems to be a humorous diary entry from a player named B. Taro about their early online adventures in the game. The page depicts nurse characters, common in Phantasy Star Online's medical center. B. Taro recounts starting the game on December 21st, the release date, and excitedly entering online mode for the first time. They describe their character as a white Hainuel. The narrative follows their first steps into the visual lobby, expressing surprise at the number of players already present, and noting that many seem to be high level. They mention exploring the different ships or servers, and being suddenly picked up or chatted with by another player who declares, "I like you!" This is humorously described as being Nanpa Saret, LOL, which is slang for being hit on. The page also touches upon the trend of players already creating and leveling up second characters, even though it has only been a month since the game's release. There's a sense of amusement and slightly overwhelmed observation of the early online community of Phantasy Star Online.
This guide focuses on weapon synthesis in Eldorado Gate Volume 3. Players can combine existing weapons to create more powerful equipment across various categories like hammers, bows, swords, and armor. Recipes and character restrictions are provided for each weapon. For instance, the magic hammer is made from a comet hammer and a platinum hammer. Stronger weapons become available as the game progresses. Some weapons are obtained from bosses and mid-bosses, such as the crosscut knife, Chapter 8, and magic armor, Chapter 8. Some equipment, like the crow's clothes rope, are enemy drops, with unique drop possibilities on subsequent playthroughs. The synthesis of other items, like boxer plate chest armor, allows players to surpass earlier equipment options. This Dreamcast Magazine guide for Eldorado Gate, Volume 3 details hidden items and gameplay tips. It covers 2 hidden rooms, one in Magic Forest, Chapter 7, yielding Zenny, and another in Vanistown, Chapter 7, containing the Necklace of Certain Death. The guide also explains how to obtain the Kusanagi card in Vanistown, Chapter 8, by speaking to Gala Boar. Players can branch the story based on how they use the Gala Gala egg, obtained after defeating Gala Gala in Chapter 7, either gaining Gala Boar as an ally or receiving an item from Massimo. Chapter 8 also introduces reappearing mid-boss Club Doll and Carla's appearance on Tayton Road. The guide also reveals that heat tanks in the Land of Fate can be damaged, though difficult to defeat. Finally, the guide introduces the first 6 items of the Benevolent Merchant event, starting with Mysterious Paper, and detailing how to obtain each item through various quests in different locations. Dreamcast Magazine's fan page for Eldorado Gate Volume 3, in Issue 13, focuses on Bardo's transformation. The producer reveals Bardo, originally designed to be an iron tiger, becomes a robotic steel warrior driven by revenge after a family loss, appearing in robot form in Chapter 7. Another section features Pamela, a swordsman with manipulated memories, whose strength is tied to memory boxes on Sango Island, with only 2 containing memory fragments boosting her abilities. Gameplay tips are given, emphasizing linked techniques in Chapter 3, and detailing how to recover from special status effects using magic stones. The page also distinguishes between Prayer of Resurrection, which is risky and uses Pamela's HP, and Rikaba Revival, which uses magic stones and is recommended while considering enemy actions. This page is an advertisement for 2 guidebooks for Phantasy Star Online on Dreamcast. The top guide, PSO Phantasy Star Online Perfect Guide, is promoted as the strongest guide and covers character creation, complete area strategies, hunter guild quests, item lists including special weapons and developer interviews. It is priced at 1,800 yen plus tax. The second guide, Phantasy Star Online Navigation Guide, focuses on Rhaegal exploration and is designed to help hunters fully utilize the game. It provides detailed explanations from character creation to network connections, useful techniques for online and offline play, thorough game system explanations including basic training, and information on weapons, items, enemies, and techniques. This guide is priced at 1,200 yen. Both guides are published by SoftBank Publishing. Mastering aerial combat is crucial in fighting Vipers 2. This guide outlines character-specific strategies for air superiority. For Bon, use launching moves, down pointing arrow, right pointing arrow plus Y, or down pointing arrow, left pointing arrow plus Y. Follow with aerial combos and punish air recoveries. Jane's Tornado Punch, X plus Y, after launch, followed by X, Y, X, at low heights, is key. Mauler excels with jump Y plus A after launch, especially at high altitudes, and ground command throws on guard. Grace's down pointing arrow, right pointing arrow, down pointing arrow, right pointing arrow, plus Y offers easy combo opportunities, even on normal hits. Raxel utilizes different launching moves. For high launches, use down pointing arrow, right pointing arrow plus Y and Y plus A. For low launches, use death spin to punish air recoveries. Air recovery can be evaded with preemptive attacks. The next page from the Fighting Vipers 2 strategy guide continues with character-specific tactics. For Sandman, while ground throws are fundamental, combos are also viable. Charlie focuses on initiating combos and utilizing ride throws after launching opponents. Picky emphasizes aerial throws and combos for offense. Tokyo should adapt to the situation and effectively use the belly flap move. Emi shifts focus from aerial hits to bounce attacks and wake-up game strategies. Honey's basic approach revolves around combo attacks, advising against over-reliance on aerial throws, as it can leave her vulnerable to counterattacks. Del Sol's fighting style is similar to Mahler's, posing no particular problems in terms of offensive strategy. Lastly, for Khan, rather than focusing on launching opponents, the advice is to concentrate on staggering them to open up attack opportunities. This page is all about GigaWing 2, a vertical scrolling shooter for the Dreamcast. The page is titled GigaWing 2 Thorough Strategy Guide and focuses on aiming for a high score and unlocking hidden elements in the game. The page highlights reaching the top of the online rankings and achieving 4 billion points or more as a goal. There's a section detailing hidden elements and their unlock conditions, categorized by appearance mode, content of element, and appearance condition. These hidden elements include adding character face graphics and event graphics to the gallery, adding playable stages in score attack mode, unlocking hidden aircraft and character selection in arcade and score attack, displaying accumulated scores in arcade mode, enabling/disabling character events in options, and enabling multi-character mode. The unlock conditions generally involve playing in arcade mode and achieving certain milestones, like clearing stages, reaching specific scores, e.g. 6,000 million points, or collecting all gallery graphics. There are also gameplay tips provided in numbered points, focusing on using the Reflect Force and Ball Cannon effectively for high scores, especially against bosses and in Stage 1. The tips cover strategy for dealing with different enemy types and boss phases, and maximizing score by using Ball Cannon multiple times during Reflect. It also details specific strategies for Stage 2 bosses. The page uses screenshots to illustrate gameplay moments and score displays. This strategy guide for GigaWing 2 focuses on maximizing scores across specific stages. Stage 4 emphasizes pattern recognition and Ball Cannon usage for boss parts, aiming for 15,000 million points. Stage 5 focuses on bit deployment and targeting the boss's main body, using Reflect strategically, with a goal of 23,000 million points. Stage 6 highlights Chitiri's strategy for a 75-second clear by reflecting and utilizing Ball Cannon. Stage 7, the final stage, targets 4,000 million points within the stage and 4 billion overall, stressing Ball Cannon use and precise reflecting. The editorial department's high score is 4.7 billion, mirroring online leaderboards, with a 5 billion point goal. This page is a guide focusing on Saskatsuku, a Japanese exclusive Dreamcast game known internationally as Let's Make a Soccer Team. It delves into the coach system within the game, highlighting how different coaches impact player development. The page showcases a selection of coaches, detailing their contract fees and specializations. For example, Sakaru specializes in systems 532 and 343 and improves various player skills. Nukuru Oru is a coach who recommends 442, focusing on central breakthroughs and enhancing individual and fundamental skills. Keitarosu also suggests 442, but excels in position guidance and set play. Other coaches like Modigliarne, Dofu, Marius, Kitusa, Marutini, and Bauer are also introduced with their respective strengths and contract costs. The page includes screenshots illustrating gameplay and player development charts under different coaches, showing how stats like stamina, tactics, and defense improve over a year under specific coaching. The article analyzes the effectiveness of coaches like Sakaru and Modigliarne by showing before and after player stat graphs, demonstrating the tangible impact coaches have on team development in Saskatsuku. This Saskatsuku guide page details overseas training options for player development. Hiring coaches from specific cities unlocks those locations as training destinations. The guide outlines training benefits for clubs across various countries: Italy, England, Spain, France, etc. Each location, like Lazio FC or Liverpool FC, focuses on specific skill improvements. For example, training at Lazio FC improves tactics, while Liverpool FC boosts shooting. Real Madrid enhances shooting and attacking intent. Verification sections show before and after stat changes, illustrating training impact. Sending a DF to Milano FC improves DF ability, while sending a FW to Boca FC boosts shooting and dribbling, with greater gains observed in dribbling aptitude for OMF players, highlighting the importance of selecting training locations based on player type and desired skill enhancement. This page focuses on Guilty Gear X. It highlights a present campaign and connection technique, special feature part 1, which seems to be announcing winners for bandana, towel, and Instacard prizes. There's a Talking in GGX section, which is a reader corner discussing fan illustrations and magazine production schedules, mentioning that they are already working on Beat 13 content whilst Beat 12 is out, indicating advanced planning. The GXG section showcases fan art illustrations of Guilty Gear X characters like Milia Rage, Mei, KY Kiske, Zatoani, and Baiken from different prefectures in Japan. The page also features screenshots from Guilty Gear X gameplay. This page continues the Guilty Gear X coverage with a character-specific combo special feature, Part 1. It focuses on 4 characters, Soul Bad Guy, KY Kiske, Mei, and Milia Rage, detailing combo techniques for each. For Soul Bad Guy, it outlines several combos with names like Grand Viper and Volcanic Viper, including variations involving dust attacks and guard gauge maximum situations, with damage values up to 275. KY Kiske's section features combos like Vapor Thrust and Crescent Slash, incorporating dust attacks and guard gauge max scenarios, reaching up to 289 damage. These combos are titled Delicious Rolling and Great Yamada Attack, with damage ranging to 176. The descriptions mention incorporating overhead attacks and using specific techniques at the screen edge. Milia Rage's section details Bad Moon combos, with damage values up to 148, including variations using dust attacks and low attacks. The text mentions that these combos are fundamental for Milia and are effective. Each character section provides a list of combos with input notations and damage values, along with screenshots illustrating the execution of these techniques in Guilty Gear X. The descriptions offer tips on timing and execution for some of the combos. This page is dedicated to Grandia 2 and features several sections. It announces the Grandia 2 official setting material collection is in production, highlighting that it includes illustrations by character designer Kanan Yushi and developer interviews, aiming to reveal everything about the world of Grandia 2 beyond the game itself. It's priced at 2,800 yen, excluding tax, and scheduled for late March release. The page also showcases Grandia 2 famous scenes, focusing on moments that would resonate with players who finished the game. Specifically mentioned is the scene where Ryudo fights Valmar's horn within his own heart, described as a battle against himself during a moment of enlightenment. It also mentions the scene of young people fighting Valmar's power to bring light back to Elena's heart. The Windy Promenade section presents fan voices, featuring illustrated characters representing different prefectures of Japan, giving their opinions on Grandia 2 and its characters. Characters like Maya from Tokyo reflects on Ryudo and Elena's relationship. Kisaki Asao from Tokyo talks about Tio's growth. Carmen Owazawa from Gunma enjoys Rowan's character. Momiji from Kumamoto admires the heroic potential of young people. Kusaka Kusuke from Ehime praises Ryuto's cool demeanor, and Rindao from Hokkaido finds the story and characters moving. Finally, this week's Grandia X2 includes character art related to Grandia 2. This page is about Gruguru Hot Springs Association, a Dreamcast game. The page highlights a victory mahjong tournament, featuring beautiful pro mahjong player sisters, and a heated battle. It mentions the tournament took place from December 14th to 17th. The winner of the tournament would get to play against these beautiful pro mahjong sisters. This article is about a report on the semi-finalist and second-place winners match against these sisters. There's an interview section with the sexy mahjong sisters, who discuss enjoying playing network mahjong games at home. They mention the fun of playing with people you know, and the opportunity to improve mahjong skills by playing against many people. They also talk about fan interactions through the game. The page also includes a section about joining the Dream Magazine Hot Springs Association. It's a recruitment drive for people who love hot springs. Instructions are given on how to apply by postcard, including details to write like address, name, age, occupation, phone number, and email. Members get exclusive downloadable content and chances to win prizes in various tournaments. Finally, there is a small section teasing the next issue, dated February 2nd, focusing on a location report from Hotel Epinal Nasu and featuring number 1 Hara and Bean, who visited for a segment called Bean's Way. This page is about new game content being added to the J-Sky service, called WoW Sports, starting from February 14th. The content includes 2 games, Mecha Tsunobo, Super Snowboard, and Love Tennis. Super Snowboard is described as a snowboarding action game, where players perform tricks on jump platforms and can develop their border character. Love Tennis is a strategic tennis game where players train their own players to become league champions, In the network latest news section, there is an announcement for the Wednesday tournament for Sega Tetris. This weekly online tournament will be held every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 7:10 p.m. starting February 7th. The first 16 people can participate, and while there are no prizes, the developers are expected to participate. Finally, in the Flashback Project section, the page discusses Edison Detective Agency. This puzzle game from 1995, for 2 players, was originally planned for STV arcade board. The game involves finding different characters hidden within a multitude of scattered letters. The staff commentary explains how the game came about quickly within a month, and it was meant to be a home console release but unfortunately was never officially released for home consoles, which they regret. The characters Temo-kun and Meruko-chan are mentioned as the main characters. This page continues the interview with Mr. Morita, the director of Sega Tetris. He discusses how they aim to perfectly recreate the internal numerical values of the original Tetris. Tuning the game was very difficult, taking around 2 months just to adjust the block falling and disappearing timing at a frame-by-frame level. He mentions players who are used to older Tetris might feel the controls are different, but internally they are the same. He also talks about the different difficulty levels and speed in the game. There are sections answering questions like, why Sega Tetris? And, what's the secret of Advantize? The Advantize secret section reveals that in Advantize demo mode, the initial block pattern is based on the original arcade Tetris power-up pattern, which can lead to high scores, calling it 2 Maniac. The Lucky Chan revival section discusses how Lucky Chan, a character, was originally planned to be in the game from the planning stages, and they wanted to include her because of her popularity and are considering future appearances. Finally, the Tamago is important section highlights that the Tamago character is only obtainable by completing the single-player mode without using continues, marking it as a symbol of super players in online matches, and warns players to be cautious if they encounter someone using Tamago online because they are strong players. Screenshots show gameplay and character selection screens. This page introduces Air Trek's Own, an upcoming arcade game from Hitmaker. The page focuses on the tutorial stage and basic techniques within the game. It states that Air Treks is a skateboard game and highlights that the tutorial stage is crucial for learning the basics, recommending it for beginners. The page introduces the first character, Jake, providing his backstory, mentioning he is from the USA, 17 years old, and has a strong passion for skateboarding and fashion. There's a section explaining the names of different parts of a ramp like lips, ramp, and bottom, describing their functions in performing tricks. The page uses screenshots from the game to illustrate the tutorial stage and gameplay, demonstrating the combo system and trick executions. It emphasizes mastering the basic combo pot trick in the tutorial to advance to later stages. The page encourages players to practice ramp techniques and learn the terminology to improve their gameplay experience. The Air Treks arcade game tutorial introduces 3 basic tricks: combo, spin, and grind. Combo tricks involve mid-air maneuvers off ramps. Spin tricks focus on board rotations, and grind tricks involve sliding along ramps. Each trick has a step-by-step guide with visuals. The page also introduces Katie, a 15-year-old character from the UK, described as a skilled skateboarder seeking her own identity. Additionally, the page announces an Air Trek skateboard deck collaboration with Chapman Skateboards, featuring designs and scheduled for a worldwide release in late February/March. Finally, the development team shares their insights. Programmer Tsuyoshi Matsuda highlights character personality and skills, director Shinichi Fuji emphasizes self-expression, and assistant director Makiko Funai praises the game's fun gameplay. This page dives into the final stage, Stage 5 Galax Y, of Planet Harriers, a cooperative 3D shooting game from Sega/Amusement Vision. The page emphasizes the need for 2 players to defeat the final boss. The strategy for this stage is all about survival and smart item choices in the shop. Instead of focusing on the powerful but expensive laser gun, the game advises players to prioritize recovery items like life repair and heart, because enemy attacks are intense and deal significant damage. Gameplay tips are provided in 3 points. First, constant movement is key in the fast-scrolling asteroid field to dodge enemy fire. Second, laser turrets appearing after the asteroid section need to be quickly destroyed. These turrets fire lasers upwards, downwards right, and downwards left, so destroying the lower turrets and moving to the upper area is the safest strategy. Third, when fighting robot enemies on spaceships, use the spaceship walls as cover to avoid direct fire, and attack from the side. A check section highlights that while you can't collect gold by staying at the bottom of the screen, it's a safe zone to avoid damage. The Planet Harrier's Guide provides advanced gameplay tips. Mr. Nick's Commitment explains players can collect item boxes by colliding with them. Pair Play Strategy recommends distance between players in two-player mode to avoid simultaneous hits. Stage Boss Strategy 3 Robot Barrage details the robot boss fight, advising players to focus on one robot at a time and utilize the robot's attack patterns to their advantage. Point 4. Laser Look Carefully and Evade suggests large circular movements to evade rotating lasers, using sharp turns only as a last resort. Point 5. Ring Laser Break Through the Gaps advocates flying through ring laser gaps if trapped, but prefers circular movements to avoid them. Stage Boss Strategy 3 Attack Patterns Deciphered details boss attack patterns, encouraging players to anticipate them and use bombs strategically, focusing on block destruction. Check sections provide tips for additional rewards, such as targeting the Goldie robots and using ring laser sections for health recovery. The next page is the Tato Journal, issue 17, which is a fan page for what seems to be the Sakura Wars series, judging by the character names and style. The page opens with editor Gasquetu mentioning his birthday and looking forward to being 30. There is a section showcasing fan art of Sakura Wars characters, contributed by readers from different prefectures, with short comments on each. For example, artwork from Fukushima, Kumamoto, Shizuoka, Hiroshima, Gifu, Hokkaido, Ibaraki, and Okinawa prefectures. There is Popularity Ranking 21 section, listing characters with vote counts, showing Sumire, Rainy, Sakura, and Maria at the top. The ranking seems to clarify that votes for Sakura illustrations should be counted for Sakura. Finally, there's a small comic section titled Little Imperial Theater, Welcome, and Underground Purchase Department, featuring short comical scenarios related to the characters and game. One panel shows a character seemingly buying a Dreamcast game and mentions Imperial brand Hot Spring Eggs as merchandise. This page is from the Dream a Girl section and features the actress Yumiko Shaku. It's a Valentine's Day themed page where she mentions it's almost Valentine's Day and playfully asks if she should secretly eat her sweet melting chocolate, inviting the reader to also become Shaku-chu, which seems to be a cute way of saying to be charmed by her or to fall in love with her. This page is from the Dream a Girl section and spotlights the actress Yumiko Shaku. It mentions her rise to fame from the TV show Wonderful and her presence in magazines. The page suggests it will reveal the roots of Shaku in an S style. It emphasizes her inner and outer charm and her lovable character, and poses the question of whether she will be involved in the Dreamcast's new suspense adventure game, Popiece. The profile section lists her details, such as her birth date, age 22, birthplace Tokyo, and blood type B. Her latest information includes details of her appearances on Japan TV's Ito Family's Dining Table and Nippon Broadcasting Radio's Shaku Yumiko's World Furin Kazari Planning. It also promotes her fourth photo book, PPPPP, released on February 25th, her DVD, Be With You, Plus, and highlights her role as the heroine Ayako Yanao in the Dreamcast game Ace, which was released on April 19th. Her website, SHAKUNET, is also listed. Actress Yumiko Shaku discusses her personal life and career. In Secret of Love, she recalls imagining her ideal man and falling in love at first sight. The Shaku photo collection reveals her fondness for animals and babies, influencing her photo book titles, including Shaku-chu, Dreaming/Kissing, and PPP, Powerful, Positive, Passionate. Sweetheart features anecdotes about her dog, Seaman, and a humorous Valentine's Day chocolate-making mishap. Finally, a prize giveaway offers a Yumiko Shaku doll and signed Polaroid to 3 winners. To enter, readers must send a postcard with personal information and a requested prize by February 22nd. This page focuses on actress Yumiko Shaku and her thoughts. She reflects on memorable moments from Wonderful, particularly filming with dolphins on a beach in Shirahama. She humorously describes the challenges of reporting while riding a dolphin in the cold weather. She also discusses her role in the DC new work, Nojo, where she plays Aya Nojo, a detective providing information for serial murder cases, investigating the connection between the case and her own past. She mentions it's a serious drama. She also comments on watching her own acting, finding it embarrassing but acknowledging it as a learning experience. An anecdote about her nervousness meeting Mikami-san on set is included. The page title highlights her smile and the letter S. The next page highlights the Dreamcast title Ez, starring Yumiko Shaku, described as a psycho-suspense adventure game. This 3-disc game is set to be released on April 19th. The article explains that Ez delves into the deepest realms of the mind, the superego, and id, within the context of a serial murder mystery. Players will explore the unconscious of Detective Kiyotake Hita, investigating a case connected to Yumiko Shaku's character, Aya Nojo. The game is being adapted into a novel and a TV drama on TV Asahi in April. This article emphasizes Sega's transition to software, with Ez marking their first multi-platform release. Sega's Kuji Kayama recommends playing alone at night for the full scary experience, suggesting it may be frightening enough to make players want to switch off the console. The page features game screenshots, including a scene with Yumiko Shaku, and photos from the January 25th press conference for the game. The next page showcases a manga called Guru Guru Creature. It introduces several characters. Guru Guru, a young scientist who loves creating creatures. Usagi, a rabbit-like creature with human intelligence. Aoi-chan and Aoi-san, with Aoi-chan being Guru Guru's assistant and having a separate human face on her chest. Mochi-kun, a hard-working and popular creature. Janpi-kun, a creature who absorbs moya moya. Kakashi-chan, a scarecrow creature created by Janpi-kun who makes people uneasy, and Maisie-san, a famous school idol who likes Guru Guru's creations. Said, the manga panels depict a story where Guru Guru is observing a flower and a black cat, seemingly related to Janpi-kun. Aoi-chan chases Guru Guru, gets angry at him, and then the idol Maisie-san appears, getting upset and kicking Guru Guru, sending him flying. Weekly Dreamcastrology horoscopes for February 9th, -15th. Offer fortunes, lucky colors, and items for each zodiac sign. Aries should finish tasks. Taurus, write down ideas and watch room temperature. Gemini, manage carefully. Cancer, consider others' words. Leo, focus on less visible areas. Virgo, seek guidance. Libra should postpone confessions and be cautious of injuries. Scorpio, ignore rumors. Sagittarius, seize opportunities with caution. Capricorn, trust judgment and cheer others. Aquarius, prepare thoroughly. Pisces, avoid ambiguity. Today's lucky person, for February 16th, likely related to a Mental Graffiti 2 game, advises decorating with pink flowers to combat a suffocating atmosphere. This page promotes special gifts for Dreamcast Magazine readers, including a Take-Chan cushion provided by Sega, Dreamcast-compatible software, original telephone cards, original name card cases, and original t-shirts. The next issue, dated March 2nd, is previewed, highlighting the Dreamcast Grand Prix award-winning works that will be featured on the cover. The magazine also mentions information on DC software sales and future content. The page also notes that there were a total of 8,315 applications for the presents, and that the Dreamcast Grand Prix has decided on 9 categories. Game titles like Street Fighter 03 and Matching Service Fighting Championship are referenced in relation to the Grand Prix categories. There are also contact details for inquiries about the magazine content and a list of winners from the previous issue's gifts, along with a staff list and a notice about contest regulations. Finally, it announces the opening of the Dreamcast Magazine website. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Aero Dancing It. The tagline translates to, Ace Pilot has no time to rest, and the release date is listed as February 15th, 2001. The page promotes events in 40 game stores nationwide for the National Dogfight Championship 2001, mentioning locations and dates for events in Akihabara, Osaka, Fukuoka, and Shinjuku. It also details an online network battle event called Strongest King Contest 2001 set for February 23, 2001. The page includes details on how to participate in network battles and the software and hardware requirements. This page is an advertisement for Macross M3, the first Dreamcast game in the Macross series, released on February 22, 2001, for 6,800 yen. A special first edition Lucky Card campaign is detailed, offering prizes such as a 1/24th scale VF1S Valkyrie model, a VF11B Thunderbolt model, various VF1 plastic model kits, and a Macross M3 soundtrack CD for lucky winners.